bread as well as chicken. How art thou? I hope well. Good to see you. I will do the usual thing quick. Oh, that's not how to spell test. Well, one way or another, it has come through. Perfect. All right. Great start. Yes. Here we go. So, plan for to da. Um, we did principles of flight last week. Let me just quick make sure I did a thing. Yes, I did do the thing properly. Okay. We did principles of flight last week. And the final fourth went slightly less good than the rest. So we are going to well, first I got to do the usual thing. Hang on. Where is it? There it is. Da 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 da. Flight instructor practical test standards for airplane. Actually, that almost doesn't make sense at all, does it? So I found this thing. You can do this thing. This will make scrolling easier for one. But then, oh shoot, hang on. I didn't check all the things, did I? They're fine. So yes, okay. So we're gonna go back to our this didn't work out as well as I thought it was going to. All right, so back to principles of flight. Again, task D, we went over airfoil design characteristics last time. We have to get to airplane stability and controllability. That'll come in with the weight. And again, be better this time. We did. We went over weight, but I revamped it. So hopefully it's better than last time. Load factor we'll get back into again, and then the wingtip vortices as well. No, that was in drag. So yeah, I guess we'll just find out in principles of flight. I still haven't figured out which picture I want to use. I adjusted some things in the four forces of flight. Brought up the whole sum of all forces is 0, so it's not just forces are balanced in straight and level unaccelerated flight, lift equals weight, thrust equals drag. Also, sum of all forces equals 0, which is the same as lift equals weight, thrust equals drag, because yeah, so the opposing forces are equal. The force in one direction, say lift, is equal to the force in the opposing direction, but they kind of cancel each other out, equaling 0. So it's a positive with a negative. Kind of like take a number line with 0 and you have a 5 and then a negative 5. It's the same amount, but in opposite directions. So yeah, so those cancel out, equals 0 this way, cancels out, equals 0 this way. So then the sum of all of them together is 0. Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, anyway. Still didn't find a picture yet for this one. Went over most of this up until about here with my instructor. Didn't get to the rest of it. Talked about some stuff, so I'll maybe go back through that. But for now, we will get back to our weight. So we are on the fourth force of flight. This slide has not changed, but the rest has. So I didn't disclaimer, apart from the one below, disclaimer, I didn't actually fully practice this one all together. I just did it as I was doing the slides. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so weight. The weight is the combined load of the aircraft, fuel, crew, and cargo. So you see here, empty weight of the aircraft. You got your passengers as well as your crew, as well as baggage. You got your cargo, any other things in the plane, and then your fuel. So maneuvering the aircraft does not change the total force of the weight like it does with the other forces. It doesn't adjust that at all, but it can affect how it is felt. So again, straight and level, unaccelerated flight. Your attitude and direction are unchanging. There's your straight and level, and your forces are in balance and again, unchanging. So maneuvering, however, requires changes. For example, increasing your speed or climbing and descending. So your forces momentarily get out of balance in order to create that change, and then they rebalance in the new configuration. So you see here, you got your thrust and your drag, you're lifting your weight, level flight, the forces are balanced, you're at a constant speed. In order to get into that climb, your entry drag, your drag is greater than your thrust, your speed slows down, your lift also is greater than your weight. And then once you're steady in that climb, your opposing forces balance out once again. So acceleration then is an inequality of the opposing forces in the direction of the greater force. So when your drag is greater than your thrust, you have an acceleration in a rearward direction. When your lift is greater than your weight, you have an acceleration in an upward direction. G forces are an effect of that acceleration. The inequality of forces creates stress on an aircraft. The load factor then is the force of that stress in G's. Can you see my cursor? Yes. Okay. Sorry. Oh, and I did notice that my words weren't coming through as well sometimes on the mic on the last one. So, oh shoot, and I forgot to change. I forgot to adjust this. So sorry about the big red stuff. I'll get to that. I kind of forgot what it was. So let me know if the mic, the sound isn't good. I'll try to speak properly into it. So yes, so load factor is the force of that stress in G's. X G's then is X times the weight of the aircraft. So it is the total load or stress on the aircraft structure. I had some questions. There was a certain thing I was supposed to talk to my instructor about. That's why it's all red with lots of question marks. I'm sorry, but it was. I had a little bit of a question myself, so we're just going to ignore it for now. I am sorry. Forgive me. But yeah, so getting into turns, using turns as an example, you're in level flight, lift is equal to weight. Once you bank that aircraft, your total lift gets shifted. Part of it is in the horizontal component, part of it is in the vertical component. So then that resultant load has to balance out that. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is a weird slide that I'm gonna have to work on a bit better. So you lose some of your vertical component of lift for the horizontal component. In order to maintain level flight, you have to increase the total lift to maintain that level flight. In order to balance that out, your resultant load is greater than that 1G. So then you have this one here. Gravity is 1G. Your centrifugal force is your 1.73 Gs, and then you do math, and your load factor is 2 Gs, and that's for a 60-degree bank. So I need to figure out how to properly explain that in here. So I apologize. I completely forgot about that part. So your 1G is balancing here, 1G is balancing here, and then as you increase that bank, your total lift needs to be balanced by the total load. I gotta work on that one. Sorry. So there is a limit to how much stress an aircraft can endure. We have two defined limits. Our limit load factor. Exceeding that, it's expected that the aircraft will suffer structural damage. And there are different categories found in the POH, and they are based on weight. It is the normal category, typically positive 3.8 Gs to negative 1.52 Gs, and then utility category, positive 4.4 Gs to negative 1.76 Gs. That's typically for aerobatics, as well as for lighter aircraft. So utility is usually lighter aircraft, or when the aircraft is lighter, and normal is for normal operations, heavier operations. Ultimate load factor is when exceeding that, the aircraft is likely to suffer structural failure. And I found this on Google as well as in the FAR. So it's basically just based on a safety margin of the load factor times 1.5. But I do need to make sure that that's actually a thing that I can say and bring up and that I fully understand. So yes, so kind of how to distinguish between these, remember these, is it's bending versus braking. Limit load factor exceeding that, the aircraft is going to be bent in such a way that it doesn't return to its original shape, and braking is braking. We also have weight has a relationship with speed, and we can see that on our handy dandy VG diagram. We have our axes, indicated airspeed on the bottom, load factor along the side, or up along here. And that is related, therefore related to our airspeed indicator, since it's indicated airspeed. We have our green arc in this little envelope. We have our yellow caution range, yellow arc in this little envelope. And then we have our red radial line, VNE speed, right here along this line, beyond which we will suffer structural failure. Speaking of structural failure, going back to our limit load and ultimate load, that is also on here. We have our limit load factor at this line, which is at our positive 3.8, as we talked about before. And then our negative 1.56 over here, although I think this one says 1.52. And then, so I probably should make sure. Oh, this one, sorry, I did get that transposed. 1.52. And then the utility category is 1.76. So negative 1.52. I shall just read the chart. Beyond that, structural damage will occur, as noted there. Then we also have our ultimate load factor, which is there and there, which is in the space of structural failure. We also have our stalls indicated. VS, which is the bottom of the green arc, is the speed at which our aircraft will stall in unaccelerated flight. So 1G right there. See 1G. And you can also see that stall speed increases with the load factor, demonstrating the wing can stall at any airspeed here, and then it goes up to our VA maneuvering speed, where beyond that speed, you're more likely exceeding a certain point will cause damage rather than a stall. And then we have yes, and I should have gone over this portion of this instead of the rest of the rest of the PowerPoint, because I had questions. So I'll have more questions and we'll come back to it, I guess. But there are certain points at which the weight related forces act. First one being our center of gravity, or CG, which is the point where all weight is assumed to be concentrated and acts vertically downward. Note there. And it is usually forward for enhanced stall recovery, creating a natural nose down tendency, and is also due to our engine, nice and heavy. Center of lift is our CL, that opposes weight. Sorry, I just have to turn this off. There. Center of lift, CL, opposes weight, acts perpendicularly upward to our flight path through the wing. And then our horizontal stabilizer has a negative angle of attack, has a negative angle of attack to balance that natural nose down tendency from the CG, and that pivots the aircraft around the center of lift. Stability is how our aircraft reacts to changes. We have our static stability, which is the reaction to an initial upset from the current attitude. We have two, I'll actually try and zoom in on these so that it's easier to. We have two illustrative things for this. We have actually three types of static stability. So first we have our positive, where our aircraft will return to its original position after the initial force. So like this shape, if you just kind of knock it just a little bit, is going to return to its original position. In this situation, the applied force, neutral static stability, the applied force will leave that shape in its new position. Negative static stability, apply that force, it's going to continue diverging from that original position, basically getting worse. So then you have the little ball here. You roll the ball, it'll return to its original position. Roll the ball, will stay in its new position. Roll the ball, will continue further away from its original position. Dynamic stability is the reaction over time as oscillations, which are a cycle of gently changing attitude. Dynamic stability is all positive static stability because it gets upset and then it returns to its original point, goes past the original point, returns to the original point, goes past, and continues. So we have, again, statically stable and then positively dynamically stable. So it goes up and goes back down, goes up and down, eventually returning to that original attitude. Neutral, that's positive again if I didn't say that. Neutral dynamic stability is it goes up, returns to the original, goes past it, returns back up, goes past, returns back up, and just continues in that way. And then the negative static stability or negative dynamic stability, it goes up, goes past the original, goes further up, further down, and just continues diverging from its original position. So those oscillations are divergent oscillations. Our positive oscillations are damped oscillations. Maneuverability of our aircraft is the aircraft's ability to easily perform commanded maneuvers as well as withstand the resulting stresses. The more stable the aircraft is, the less maneuverable it will be because it requires more effort to move it, and it will respond slower to inputs. Controllability is the aircraft's ability to remain under control and correctly respond to inputs. Positive stability means it's highly controllable because it will return to that initial attitude after it gets upset or from an initial applied force. Negative stability results in a greater likelihood of uncontrollability, and those divergent oscillations specifically can lead to rapid loss of control. So be careful with that. We have our three axes of movement, which I believe we mentioned earlier in the presentation. So again, we have our longitudinal axis, which is our around which we roll, vertical axis around which we yaw, and our lateral axis around which we pitch. So movement, however, around the lateral and longitudinal axes has stability in the opposite. So for example, movement around the lateral axis, that pitching, has longitudinal stability. So you can think about it as the axis is creating the curves of stability. So you're pitching this aircraft, again, you can see my cursor. You're pitching the aircraft. We're returning to this stability diagram. You're pitching like so in the lateral axis, but that stability creates that arc of stability. Yeah. Speaking of longitudinal or pitch stability, it is determined by the relationship of the CG, center of gravity, center of lift, and the horizontal stabilizer, in particular, the center of gravity's position, whether it is further forward or further rearward. So keep in mind that the more forward a CG is, it increases the load on the horizontal stabilizer in order to balance it out, keeping that yoke back to maintain level flight, not balancing out that nose down tendency, which then creates more drag. So we have certain results from that in stall recoverability, cruise performance, stability, and then if it is too far forward or aft. Hello! Sim Caesar, thank you for the raid. How is it going? How was your stream? What were you doing? Welcome, everyone. Raid. Hello, it's good to see you all. I hope you're well. Thank you for the follow, Pilot Deviation. Oh no! Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hello. How are you? I hope you're well. We are currently okay. So since you came in on this portion, disclaimer below. This is not instruction. I am okay. So for anyone who is new, I am a pilot in real life, currently working on my instructor certificate. So this is not instruction. Again, below. This is not instruction, nor is it likely competence. So you're learning nothing. I'm teaching nothing. I'm just practicing my flows. So what we're doing at the moment is we're working on Principles of Flight, my ground lesson plan, and we're just going through that. So we're about done with that, and we'll be getting into the plane for a mock CFI check ride. So there, that's all that. How are you all? What's up? So we're currently talking about longitudinal pitch stability. Went through all that. So yes, so the CG position, whether it is forward or more rearward, is going to affect specifically these areas. For stall recoverability, forward CG is going to be better for because that natural nose down tendency. Cruise performance is going to be lowered because, again, as we set up here, more forward CG increases the load on the horizontal stabilizer and creates more drag. Cruise performance is lowered. Stability is higher, and then if you have a too forward CG, you may not be able to flare upon landing, which is not good. If the CG is too far aft, it is opposite. Less stall recoverability, cruise performance is increased, stability is lowered, and if it is too far aft, you may not be able to recover from a stall. Oh, and then the conclusion. I didn't do this very well. So, understanding what affects aircraft movement, such as the environment, design, and loading, enhances our ability to recognize what is happening at any given phase of flight in order to safely and efficiently fly the aircraft in a variety of conditions. I'm not good at conclusions, but I will work on that. So there, I feel like that went. We did most of this ground lesson last week. We did the first 3 forces of flight last week, and they went pretty okay, but the weight one did not go well. So I'm hoping that went better. I thought there was something I was going to go back to, but I don't think so. So we'll figure out where we're flying and talk about how I've decided to do the check ridey sorts of things. All right. So I have found out that potentially I will be taking check ride at a towered airport. So we may go to a towered airport and simulate towered operations. So we're going to go in the green area. We'll just do a delta. A nice small. There we go. How's this one? This one looks good. Ardmore. ADM, aeronautical decision making. Perfect. Let's do it. Kilo Alpha Delta Mike. All right. Now we're going to start the sim, getting the things together. A boom and a boom and a boom. Ah. Good. Track IR is working. Little nav map is up. And here comes the sim. Okay. So I have a plan for how we're going to start doing the check rides to give me more practice with things. So what so while the sim is starting, I will go over that and then tell you how we're going to do today's instead. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So, for each so again, we're back in the PTS, the practical test standards for airplane for instructor. So each of these areas, the DPE has to do a certain one or two maybe, and then at least one more that they can decide. So this is for ground. Fundamentals of instructing is on the ground. Technical subject areas are also on the ground. Pre-flight preparation is another ground one. Pre-flight lesson on a maneuver to be performed in flight, another ground one. And then we start getting into pre-flight procedures, airport operations, and then the actual maneuvers. So what all these strange purple purple bits are is E for fundamentals of instructing, have to do E and then one more. So E is our instructor responsibilities and professionalism. This, can you see my cursor? Over here is what at some point we're going to start doing. We're going to use the dice turtle of destiny and we're going to pop him and we're going to decide, like, use the turtle to decide which thing I am going to be presenting that day. So, since we're not doing that yet, we're going to focus on the takeoffs and landings portion because, like, the pre-flight procedures, pre-flight inspection, cockpit management, engine starting, all that is going to kind of be in. It's just going to kind of be. It's going to happen naturally, same as the airport and airport operations. So, like the takeoffs, landings, go-arounds, fundamentals of flight, performance maneuvers, ground reference maneuvers, slow flight stalls and spins, basic instrument maneuvers, emergency operations, and not post-flight procedures, emergency operations. All of those are going to be kind of chosen. So for now, I have already chosen the ones. I will show my little notepad bit. Hang on, I have to figure out how to put it on the screen for you guys. Notepad. Okay, boom. Oh, it is small. I forgot I made it small. So yes, there is our little notepad bit. I practiced the other day with this. So ignore pre-flight procedures and airport operations. We're going to focus on, yes, these. So the ones that I have chosen, these are just the basics. These are what my instructor said that how his check ride went, and or how a student just recently took it with the DPE that I am actually potentially going to be having. So what he did. So these are my choices for what we're doing this time. We're going to do normal and short field takeoff and landings. Fundamentals of flight, we're going to do our turn. Performance maneuvers, steep turns, lazy eights, ground reference maneuvers, eights on pylons are necessary, and then turns around a point is what I have chosen. Slow flight stalls and spins. Yeah, I think we'll just keep the power off for our proficiency and the secondary for our demonstration. Basic instrument maneuvers, we'll do straight and level as well as a climbing, constant airspeed climb. I think I heard something, but I can't see. I can't see chat right now. I'm sorry. I'll be there in a second. And then our emergency operations. I hope you can see this. Can you see this? Okay, yes. It might be small, so I'm sorry. Our emergency operations have to be emergency approach and landing simulated, and then systems and equipment malfunctions. And we'll talk about how that's going to go. And then our post-flight procedures are post-flight procedures. So the emergency thing is I'm back now. Yes, I do want to interact with you. Yes, I do. I'm sorry. I just the way the notepad works, it goes over my second screen. Otherwise, if I put it on my big screen, then it gets all messed up. So I'm sorry. I went through it. Now we're done and now I'm back. So yes, so the emergency as we're getting into the sim, what did we decide? Aeronautical decision making. Let me get the thing back on. Boom. And boom. There. Yes, so the emergency procedure, since we're doing both systems and equipment malfunctions, as well as the emergency landing, we're actually going to do what I did during my commercial check ride last year, which was an engine fire, to an emergency descent into an emergency landing. I think we'll see. Which should take care of both. But yes. Oh, and I'll throw this up here. If anyone wants to come fly, Kilo Alpha Delta Mike, aeronautical decision making. And we did. We practiced a little bit last. We kind of did this last week, but I didn't feel very good about it. But then I practiced again on my own, and I did. I thought more of it like just talking about what I'm doing and why to an extent, but not getting too deep into it. And that did go a lot better. So we will. We'll see how it goes this time. So yes, the reason why we're doing like the basics right now is just to kind of get me into the mindset and like technique of it. Oh, it's so pretty. And off it go. Nope, sorry, wrong thing. Turn the night off. So yes, before we get into throwing random stuff at me, or throwing random stuff at myself with the Dice Turtle of Destiny, we're just gonna work through what I'm potentially likely going to be getting. But yes, I do. I have to be prepared for anything, so we will get to that as well. So, all right. So I guess here we go. I still don't know how much the DPE is actually going to go into pre-flight stuff. What my instructor told me is that the DPE. So my instructor started talking about like, all right, so here's how we do this stuff for starting the aircraft, and the DPE just goes, I know how to start an aircraft, and he just. So yes, so there is. I don't know. I want to be prepared, but I do. They can tell, I think, whether you know what you're actually doing or not. So, all right. Boom. And boom. Getting all this stuff off. Making sure we're not making fools of ourselves, leaving chocks on and pitot covers. All right. Okay. Getting into the things. So usually I start with take a picture of the Hobbs and attack. But I feel like that's one of those things I don't even want to bring to the DP. So just dip. So we turn on the battery, check our pitot heat, nav lights. We don't have a strobe, beacon, taxi, landing lights, flaps go down. Oops. Check our lights. Make sure I know what I'm doing. I know exactly, right? That is the trick. Well, and that's why too, like on one hand, it's like I want to and then we check our fuel. Sorry, our fuel level. Is that in our right tank? Why? Okay. Well, grasp the pitot tube, feel that heat, turn it off. I feel like there's a fine line between um we're actually gonna check, and then we check our fuel quantity. Strange that I have that little in there, as well as our quality. Why did I? Sure, you don't turn that off. I mean, this was a test. DPE. Make sure you don't leave your battery switch on during the walk around. This is off to a great start. Oh, wait, wrong button. Shoot. This way. So, yes, fine line between talking enough that he doesn't ask any questions or can't get a word in edgewise, and not talking too much where you say something where he goes, tell me more about that, or that wasn't correct. Yeah, that. So, we checked our. So actually, we would have. So we check our fuel quality first. First, we'll check our fuel quality. Drain a little bit of fuel, check the color, check for sediment as well as any water bubbles down at the bottom. Do that in both wings. Strain a little bit. Hello. Strain a little bit from the bottom as well. And then we will go ahead and check the quantity. Then we check our oil. Make sure that is between 4.5 and 5. And then we can start the rest of our walk around. So, static port is clear, as are our vents: pitot tube, drain hole, fuel vent, stall horn. Check the leading edge of the wing. Give it a little raise so that we make sure that the whole plane moves and the wing is not disconnected from the fuselage. Check the tire and brakes. Actually, from here, take a look at the tire, and then once we come in through here, after checking the aileron connections, wiggle the rod. Flap connections, wiggle that rod. Check for any brake fluid. Check antennas. Come back here. Elevator connections, rudder connections. Lift it up a little bit to make sure that's attached properly. And then we do the other side. Then I'd let the student do the other side after we check the trim tab. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to how that's going to work, or if I have to do the full other side for the DPE. Then we check our edges of the propeller for any nicks or cracks. Plane that I fly does not have an alternator belt, so I won't even bring that up. Make sure the air intake is clear. The exhaust port is secure, and nose wheel has clearance. Then we take a step back, take a look-see. How's she looking? Beautiful. Yes, right, you are. And then we take the checklist out, go over it, make sure we did all the things. Excelente. All right, into the aircraft we go. So, then we, yes. And now it's time. Okay, so we get in the seat. We're in the seat. In the seat. Good afternoon. How are you? I hope you're well. We are about to embark on our check ride, kind of. So, get in, DPE gets in, and then we do our passenger briefing. All right, no talking during takeoff and landing. Seatbelts are on at all times. Exits at the doors to the left and right for now. Make sure they are shut and locked. Whoosh. I won't say that during check ride. Whoosh. That would, yes, no. Yes. For now, make sure they're shut and locked. If we lose power on the rollout, we'll stop on the runway. If it's after takeoff below 1,000 feet, land straight ahead. If it's above 1,000 feet, we'll turn around and land back on the runway. That is our abbreviated, takeoff briefing. Then seat track back. Oh wait, hang on. Sorry. See, I'm already getting nervous. So, fuel is on. Trim for takeoff. Circuit breakers. Buddle. Here we have to look at them because we can't feel them. All right, looks good. Circuit breakers. Buddle. Then we do our brakes and pedal test a little bit. Then we do our seat track back and lock chicken. Avionics are off. Autopilot is irrelevant. Carb heat is off. Beacon goes on. Prime it. Also will not do that on check ride. Then we go mixture full rich. Throttle is slight. Brakes, clear left, clear right, clear ahead, clear back. And the aircraft that I will be flying does not open the window, so clear prop. Master goes on. Hand on the throttle. And mags. Oh, come on. Yeah. Click points. Little more throttle than I thought that I needed. All right. See, even this, like I want to say, keeping our throttle around 1,000 RPM. Like I want to say that, but I have gotten into a bit of a bad habit of letting it go below 1,000. Because of course I started out letting it go above 1,000. And so of course my brain decided to like go in the complete opposite direction, which is awesome. So like I'd like to say that, but then I'm going to like leave it. Oh, you know what? So then maybe he'll bring it up and I'll be like, oh, I was wondering if you would notice. Good catch, student pilot. Oh gosh. It's all those little tricks. All right, so flaps go up, checking our greens, checking our weather, getting all our frequencies in. Oh gosh. All right, so remember also, we're at a towered airport, so I'm going to do the towered procedures. Kilo Alpha Delta Mike, the 10th at 0350 Zulu, wind, calm, 1010 statute miles, clear, temperature, oh gosh, why can't I remember how it goes? 10 statute miles, clear clouds, -4 degrees Celsius, -5 degrees for our dew point. Altimeter 29er83. It is gorgeous. 29er83. So, boop, boop. Oh, we'll say it's ATIS Papa. So 29er83, we're going to check to make sure. That is our correct. Oh, I didn't turn on my flight tracker. Hang on, sorry. That'll help. Get my handy dandy 4-flight going. Kilo Alpha Delta Mike. Oh, so then my other plan, okay. So I talked to my instructor about this. My plan was, again, I am more of a non-towered pilot. I get so nervous when it comes to ATC. So my plan was to take off, do like a normal takeoff from the tower, from the towered airport, go do maneuvers, all of those sorts of things. Go do short field landing and takeoff from a non-towered airport, and then come back, do a normal landing into the towered airport, and be done. Hopefully. And he said that's probably not what I'm gonna get. But we're gonna do it that way anyway, maybe, potentially. We'll see. So yes, so Alpha Delta Mike, we're checking our 777 as our elevation, and that looks good. So we're good there. And let's get our what's it called? Because I'm good with words. I am a CFI in training that is good with words. Airport diagram. Wind is calm, so we're likely going to get 3-1. So we'll go with 3-1. And we'll just do it. Oh, sorry. Sorry. You know what? Hang on. There is something I am going to look at here quick. We're going to do a departure to the southwest because I have just looked at the aerial view, and the southwest has good, the north kind of has that as well, but I think the southwest is going to be better for ground reference maneuvers. So we'll wander to the southwest. So we're going to be planning to take off 3-1. Oh, unless they just want to give us 3-5. What am I doing? Hello! Thank you for the follow, Astro Singularity. I appreciate you. I apologize for all the things. We are going to get into the air. But yes, I hope you are well. It is. It's one of those things where, like, I'm currently making the decisions on should we go 3-5 or should we go 3-1. But like the tower is going to give us that, but it is also good to make a plan, I guess. So, executive decision. We're just gonna do 3. We're gonna do 3-5. That's less taxing. So we'll do 3-5. And request departure to the southwest. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna call them up. This is how we do it. DPE. So we call them. We tell them where we are. We say who we're calling, who we are, where we are, what we want, and that we have the weather. So call them up and we say, shoot, where are we? Ardmore Tower, Cessna Hotel Tree 1, Delta 1 at the GA ramp with Papa. Ready for taxi, VFR departure to the southwest. And then they'll come back with what they want us to do, and we'll come back with taxi runway 35 via Alpha Charlie hold short 35 Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. G'day, how's it going? Still on that YouTube? And over there, are you still like not able to get through on Twitch? I hope you're well. Okay, so we have gotten our taxi clearance. And then he'll be like, you think maybe we should put some lights on? And I'll be like, oh, you did. You noticed that I didn't do that. Good for you. I was wondering when you'd notice. Oh, God. Oh, yes. Okay. So we're doing the taxi thing. So there we have our we're what? I feel like that's not supposed to be there. You haven't tried. You don't even like Twitch, so you don't have much motivation to fix it. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So and again, like the whole taxi portion is basically like you want to be focused on the taxi. Point out little bits like get on the center line here. Or over here. So these signs and lights are really throwing me off. Oh my gosh, sorry. My rudder was underneath my thing. Okay. So there's not supposed to be all of that pavement there according to this here thing, but we'll go with it, I guess. So, we're on our taxi, keeping us on that line, checking our instruments. I should ask if I need to do like an instrument check since it's not an instrument check ride. And I just don't even want to like bring that up. So yeah, so we're following our line. Got those red signs there, our hold short signs telling us the runway. Probably going a little bit fast, so we'll just slow it down just a smidgen. So we're on Alpha. Ran over a light, not our fault. They put it there. And then we're looking for, we're currently on Charlie, it should say. Yeah, there'd be a sign that says Charlie, so we can make sure that that's what we're on. And that's the hold short line. So we are going to, I guess, to do our run up right friggin' here. I thought there'd be, well, actually, hang on. So the thing is where I might be taking check ride, I think has like a little hold short area. So we're like out of the way, but not question, which is great. But it is what it is. This is why I like doing my run ups. Hello, Simmer. It could be both. Let me know which one, I guess. Simmer Egan, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Again, apologies for everything, and thank you for putting up with me. I hope you're well. But yeah, so this is what like this is one of those things with like the towered stuff, I'm always nervous about, like the whole run up situation. I gotta go over here, and what if I take too long, and then I got people backed up behind me, and it makes me nervous and all that. But yes, I think at least some of them that I've been to, they're like, are you gonna need to run up, or are you gonna be ready to go? And then they can say like from there, or they just assume that you're going to do a run up, and then it's okay. And I don't know. Anyway, so yes, moving on. We're gonna do our run up. So we check our fuel again. Fuel's on both. Trim for takeoff. Flight controls goes in. That aileron is up. Bring it back. Elevator is up. Turn it. That aileron is up, and bring it forward and in. We made our nice square. Flight controls are free and correct. Check our instruments. Make sure they are good. Set the DG properly. And then primer is in and locked. Mixture's best in power. And then we do our, run up. So throttle up to 1700. Carb heat goes out. Watch that drop. Mag check. Over 1. Watch that drop. Back. 2 over. Watch that drop. Back. Then we check our ammeter, our vacuum. Planet I Fly doesn't have a vacuum, so excellent. And then we green. Whoosh. And good. And then we can switch to the tower frequency. Check to make sure nobody's coming. Go for our hold short. Oh, I'm leaning. Sorry. That is. I do. I need to fly. I need to fly more from the right seat because I've flown a lot from the right seat, but for some reason, my brain does not want it. Why does this say 4 or what? Oh, that's a closed runway. Runway 4 and +2, -2, 2, it would have been. So yeah, that runway is closed. So let's make sure we take off on the correct runway. Oh my god. So, Ardmore Tower, Cessna Hotel Tree 1, Delta 1, holding short 3-5 at Charlie. VFR departure to the southwest. And then they say, oh, I need to switch this. Why do I sorry. No, that's fine. Then they come back, they give us our clearance, and we say cleared for takeoff, 3-5. Turn out to the southwest. I can't off the top of my head think of what they would give, like just straight out and we'll tell you, or just straight southwest turnout approved ? And then we say southwest turnout, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. And then we do our thing. We do our green flaps, mixture, boop, carb heat, trim, fuel, landing light. All right. Okay. So we look both ways. Check final. Nobody's coming. Check the other way in case somebody's being a doorknob. Perfect. We're good. Excellent. What? What are you? Why are you? What are you? I'm taxiing. That's right. You go back where you were and you wait. My run. Oh god. Okay, hang on. I have to figure out what. So course I choose like a strange sort of runway oh yeah, here we go. This is it. Yay. 3-5. Yes, okay. So all the good things. Rolling in, hand on the throttle. Watching our instruments. Wind is calm. Looking for that, making sure we are getting speed. Our airspeed is alive. VR is 60. 65 actually, in the one that I fly. Nose down below the horizon so we can keep a scan out for traffic. Aiming point on the horizon to maintain our heading. We were at 777, so add 500, 1277, so 1300. We'll do our climb check. Scanning for traffic. 1300, green, flaps up, fuel's good, mixture, carb heat, trim, and fuel. If I didn't already say that, I feel like I did. And then 300 below pattern, which is 1800. We can start our turn out to the southwest. Oops. Not more than 30 degrees. Keeping that climb, keeping our scan. And for that turn, we added a little bit of rudder in the direction of our turn to counter adverse yaw. Brought our yoke back a little bit to counter that loss of vertical lift. Made a nice, although shoot, see, and here's the thing, because I'm climbing right now. It's a climbing turn, so I'm gonna not teach that there, or not teach that, but yeah, not bring that up there. Southwest, I'm going. I mean, I'm still southwest, just a little more south than west, so I hope that's not an issue. So we're climbing up to, I think I usually go like 3,000 AGL. So that's going to be like 4,000. So we'll get leveled off in the airspace. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Maintaining our scan. Going northwest like we said we were. See, it is. It's like at this point, I feel like I should start like talking about stuff so that he can check stuff off, and then we're done with it. So like we're in the climb, so let's make it a constant airspeed. So we are climbing. We can either do we're actually technically out of the delta because we are above it. So awesome. So they would say switch to common advisory, switches advisories by, and I would say switch to advisory frequencies is approved. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1 G'day. And then we're going to level off at our 4,000. We're going to start nosing down to maintain that altitude, let our speed build up. And then once our speed has built up, then we bring the throttle back. In this aircraft, I want to say it's supposed to be at like 2,300. And then we can trim it to maintain that level flight. So again, as we were climbing, we can either do a constant airspeed climb or a constant rate climb. We were doing a constant airspeed climb at 90 knots according to our airspeed indicator, and we just keep our throttle on full and we adjust our pitch for 90 knots to maintain that 90 knots. Yeah, so now we're going to be doing straight and level flight for a little bit. But before we do anything at all, what do we do first? We do our clearing turns. So we're getting on to a nice cardinal heading. Then we're going to do a 90-degree turn to the left, then a 90-degree turn to the right, looking under each of the raised wings, maintaining our altitude. So no more than 30 degrees of bank, looking under that right wing. And at this point, this is where I planned to do the teaching about turns thing. Yeah, the whole little bit of rudder in. Ooh, that's kind of tricky. Hang on. So there was our first 90-degree turn. I will also say I do fly better in an actual plane. I am incapable of holding a proper altitude in the sim and this aircraft, so I apologize. What do we do first? We use the bathroom before boarding the plane. That is also an excellent point. It really is. Yes, it is. Things happen. Yes, so what we do, we put that little bit of rudder in the direction of our turn to counter that adverse yaw. Then we lift that wing, bring the yoke back as necessary, making our scan for traffic, doing our next 90 degrees. And you know what? I also realized I should be, during this time, ooh, you know what though? No, I should look that up. I should be looking that up beforehand. The winds aloft, so that I know which way. I think we have a westerly wind. Let me just double check for a second. Winds. Yeah, it's looking pretty westerly. So that should be good. All right, so we did our clearing turns. We talked about turns. Now we will do our instrument maneuver. Bringing that back a little bit. So when we're VFR pilots doing instrument flying, it is simply to practice getting out of whatever instrument conditions we have found ourselves in. So we're going to focus on our attitude indicator. That's going to be our big one that we're going to keep good and level. And then we're going to cross-check with our other instruments. Make sure our airspeed is staying steady. Altimeter staying level. Our DG. Sorry, I think... oh, God, this is weird. Sorry. Our DG staying steady. And then if we need to, sometimes we can climb out of our IMC that we have gotten ourselves into. So if we want to do that, we're going to keep an eye. We're going to increase our power. And we're going to do a constant airspeed climb. So we'll do 90 knots. Make sure, oops, we're bringing our attitude indicator up a little bit. And we'll climb to 5,500. We want to keep it at 90. So if it goes below 90, we bring our pitch in. Or, sorry, we bring our yoke in. If it gets above 90, we bring our yoke back. Bringing our yoke back a little bit to keep our 90 knots. Watching our altimeter as well. Coming up on our 5,500, and oh, we've broken out. Isn't that great? Amazing. Okay, I do actually like that. So that would be good. So 5,500. That is where we're at. Next, we will do our performance maneuvers. Starting with our steep turn. My nemesis. Words I can't say because I'm a lady. What do we also do? I was wondering if you'd ask. We also bring that throttle out. Once again, we level off. We level off with our pitch, with our yoke. Hold that altitude, let our airspeed come up, and then we bring our throttle out. Oh my gosh. It is. It's like that getting excited about stuff like, oh, I did it. I finished. No, you freaking didn't. Words. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So, steep turns. We're going to do our steep turns. We do one to the left and one to the right. And we start on our nice cardinal heading. And then we start banking. A little bit of rudder in. Counter that adverse yaw. Put our... and we want to do it 50 degrees. And we start bringing our power in. Bringing our... I'm leaning on my rudders and stuff. Sorry. Bringing that back pressure in. As necessary, and power in as necessary. And then we start rolling out like so, making sure we bring our yoke in, power out so that we don't balloon up like that. And then to the right, we little bit of right rudder. Back pressure as well as power as necessary. I just really got to do these in the plane again because I just can never get these correct in the sim. Can't do them in the plane either, but that's a different story. Make sure we're keeping that bank. Watching our horizon. Coming up on our heading. Make sure we counter our, increased back pressure and power. Steep turns, yay, that we have our lazy eights. So I have been told from the other DPE that I now have potentially going to be doing with him instead. He just had a CFI check ride with a student that I was able to talk to, and he said that his ground lesson maneuver was on lazy eights. So I'm kind of assuming that that's potentially going to be what I'm going to have to do. So instead of I'll have the eights on pylons ready, I'll have the lazy eights ready, and then any of the other ones will hopefully be able to wing it if that happens. So then doing the ground lesson of the lazy eight, and then also the lazy eight is what I will potentially be performing. So lazy eight, we're starting again on our cardinal heading. Let's get ourselves back on there. Nice and gentle like. Make the corrections you need. Also going to make sure, boop-a-doo. Yep, all right, there. Okay, so lazy eights. We add just a smidgen, about 5 degrees of bank in, and then just pull up Bring the yoke back, bring the yoke back, nice and gentle like, nice and gentle like, nice and gentle like, nice and gentle like. About here, we should be at our highest. About here, we're coming back through the horizon. 135 degrees, we're at our nose low. And then coming around to this first 180, we're going to be back nose on the horizon. And then on our right, we add that little bit of right rudder in and pull, as well as that little bit of bank. Make sure we're not going past 30 degrees of bank. A little bit too much right rudder, it appears. So at our 90-degree point, we're coming back through the horizon and we're coming lower. For the love of God. Getting that little bit of, we're decreasing our bank. We're nose low and coming back to nose on the horizon at our 180-degree point. That was not good, but we're just going to be okay with it, I guess. Am I a magician because abracadabra? Oh, I can't say that because I'm a lady. I like it. How are you? How is it going? I hope you're well. I wish I was a magician. I would have my instructor certificate already, and I would be able to poof all the knowledge and the ability into my own mind as well as the minds of others. Hello, hello, hello from the no. I am not an instructor yet. You're not learning anything from me. The disclaimer is below. Read it, love it, live it. But hello, how's it going? Good to see you. And hello, how are you? And hello, good to see you. I don't like that voice for him. I don't know. I need to get one. But yes, good to see you as well. Oh, cute. Is it a little cloud? It is adorable. I love it. Oh, God. That just reminded me. So Christmas was last month. Yes, it is January, correct? Yes. It's one of those days. I remember like one thing that I asked for Christmas when I was smaller was a big fluffy cloud that my whole family could bounce on. And I thought that would be the coolest thing. And I imagined it, and I was so excited about it. I didn't get it, but yeah, I still think it would be friggin' awesome. Oh, but I just said I already was a magician. I wish I was a magician and could give you the no. I said I wish I were a magician. There is a difference. Cute little plate, isn't it? Oh, and Ducky is best. Ducky is best. And then we can take a look. Isn't it beautiful? Tiki made the livery for me. And I love it. It's even on the pants, which I love. Yes, thank you. Oh, and since you said that, if anyone does not have the does it work like that? It does not work like that. Hang on. Yes, it does. Yay! I capitalized the C. So yes, the Cessna 152, WeSim JP Logistics 152. It is. It's awesome. I love it. I fly it all the time. And again, Ducky. We will let me think. We just did our performance maneuvers. So that means we can go ahead and do our stalls. Isn't that perfect? We're going to turn to the No, we're going to stay here because we do have a headwind. And then we'll turn back around. Okay. I just said again, no. I said I wish I was. And if you take off the I wish, it just says I was a magician. So therefore, if you're taking it that way and taking it out of context, that means I was a musician. A musician. Ooh, a music magician. Sorry. If I said I was a magician, that means I'm no longer a magician and therefore cannot magicify. It's now a word. The knowledge into your head and therefore am not an instructor. Ha 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 ha. Words and logic. Oh, it's cute. What? Yes, that is quack quack, ducky ducky, rave. We're about to do it. We're going to do our power off stall and then a secondary stall. I talked to my instructor and was like, okay, so could I do the power off stall plus the secondary stall and then be done? And he's like, probably not. And I was like, yes, probably not. And he's like, because you got to do the proficiency stall plus the demonstration stall. And I was like, also, that would be me not properly recovering from the demonstration stall. And he's like, also that. So we're going to do the power off stall and then we'll do the secondary stall in another power off stall. So power off stall. We are on our cardinal heading. We bring our power back to 1900. Carb heat goes out. Holding our altitude with our yoke. Once our speed goes below 100, notch flaps. Below 90, notch flaps. Below 80, notch flaps. And then again, just holding our altitude, Power goes out at 60. We just bring that nose over the horizon. Watch Ducky sing. And let it break. There it broke. So now we nose down, release that back pressure, bring our throttle up. Airspeed, it comes alive. Notch of flaps goes out. Climb out at VY. And clean up the rest of the aircraft when we have a positive rate of climb. Return to our heading. Return to our altitude. It's there. Power off stall. So our secondary stall comes when we do not properly recover from our from another stall. And we have our stall, have our break, and immediately get another stall from the improper recovery. We'll start at the 4,500, so we don't have to climb all the way up again. So we're going to level off 1900 at 4,500. Carb heat comes out again. Notch of flaps below 100. Second notch of flaps below 90. Third notch of flaps below 80. Holding that altitude, moving my mouse. Power goes out below 60. Hold that nose just above the horizon. He's coming. There he goes. He's singing. He's singing. He's singing. There we go. And then there's our secondary stall. So then we properly, this time, recover. Power goes in. Yoke pressure goes out. Notch of flaps in. Notch flaps out, I should say. Climbing out at VY. Then cleaning up the airplane when we have that positive rate of climb. I didn't like that one. I did not like that one. We did not enter a spin, but it was a little bit close for comfort. But yeah, I don't know. That's the way it is for now. So there was our ducky demonstration. Now we're going to turn, oh shoot though, fruit, cake, and muffins. I was just reading a thing. I'm trying to think, because we did, at this point, I want to do our emergency procedures. I was just reading a thing. Sorry, I'm flying horribly right now because I'm just trying to do things. Sorry. Yes, we're going directly east to get back-ish to where we were at. I just read a thing about how, and again, this was just on a discussion sort of a thing, and they were talking about emergency landings and about like whether or not they should be on roads, and if you need to land on a road, what should you do? And then they also went into like some people say you should turn directly into a headwind so that you have a better glide distance, but it's like if there's not an airport in that direction, then question mark. So my thing that I have been taught is you go directly toward an airport right away. However, now that I'm thinking about that, that could also be just like if you have an issue that might be an issue, but maybe isn't an issue, you turn towards the airport immediately, and then you figure out, you try and fix the things. But if it's something where you're pretty much probably going to be landing and you need more glide distance and you're not going to make it to an airport anyway, turn into a headwind. I'll have to go over that. You're gonna go with the tried and true. It depends. Right, exactly. And that is what it tends to come down to. Which is like, it's fine. That's normal. But yeah, I don't know. It bothers me. It does. But yeah, and again, like with the it depends, it's good to have all those tools in the toolbox to know which scenarios. Oh my gosh, I don't have I'm sorry. You've just been listening to me babble. Did you not get to hear Ducky? I didn't have my sound on. Oh no, you didn't hear Ducky, did you? Do we have to do another stall? I think we have to do another stall so you can hear Ducky. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, let's do it. All right, we're getting to 5,000, I guess. So we're going to do one more stall. We'll try, you know what? We'll try the secondary stall again just because, at some point I need to be practicing the accelerated and the cross-controlled again because, yeah, those are also my nemesis. But again, for now, we're doing the very basics. So I'm gonna try and be nice and like smooth and gentle with this stuff now. And don't think of that out of context. Okay. All right, so stall, bringing it back to 1900. 1900, holding that altitude with a back pressure. Carb heat goes out, below 100, flap 1 goes in. Below 90, flaps 2 go in. Below 80, flap 3 goes in. Holding again that altitude, 60, power out. Hold that horizon. There's Ducky. Yay, Ducky. There's the brake, and then we recover incorrectly, and now we recover correctly. Power in, release that back pressure, let that airspeed come up, notch a flap. Oh, frick. Notch a flap goes out, initial notch a flap goes out. Then when we are climbing out at VY, we clean up the aircraft, carb heat out, second notch of flaps, third notch of flaps. Getting back to our 4,500. People are always trying to oversimplify. Is your plane draggy? Your wing designed for high speed, low speed? How strong is that wind? Does the increased glide time make up for decreased ground speed? I think it's a matter of how know your plane and know the area you're in. Right, exactly, and it does. Because that was another thing. I was reading about like the pitch for airspeed, power for altitude thing, and it's a you end up doing the same things at the same time. And again, know your airplane, but it does help compartmentalize. And even though I'm not like a student anymore, I still feel like I'm always learning, and there's stuff that in a situation where something happens where I'm suddenly unfamiliar with something or not expecting something, I'm going to sort of revert back to that sort of thinking to make sure I get myself in order. So it does, the best thing is to know your airplane and things, but in certain scenarios it does help to have those compartmentalized bits and just not relying too much on it as well. Yes, quack quack quack. Yes, I do. I'm sorry you didn't get to hear him the first couple of times, but there we go. All right, so Engine fire! Oh no! We're going to emergency descent. We're going to turn off all of our fuel stuff. We're not going to do that actually. And then since we're doing this, we're going to, carb heat goes out. We're going to 45-degree turn, getting that speed up. 45 degrees. Speed goes up as much as possible. Getting that fire out, hopefully. And again, cutting all the fuel and stuff like that, but we're not going to actually do that. So then there's our system malfunction. Now, fire's out, but we still have no engine. So what are we going to do? We are going to pitch for best glide. There is actually, oh god, we're actually directly over a thing. So we're gonna best glide over this private airstrip. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna make a decision here quick. That's not a good idea. Nope. We're over a private airstrip, so we're going to stay over it. And we're going to troubleshoot. We have some altitude. So we're going to keep an eye out for that airstrip while we're troubleshooting. So we check our mixture, throttle, carb heats in, our fuel, our primer, make sure that's in and locked. Cycle the mags, check the battery, all those things. Then we'll grab our checklist and see if we have gone through all of the things. So this is my thing. Like, again, on here it shows a private strip. Okay. So we're turning towards it. We're doing the thing. All right. Okay. We're doing it. We're doing it as we're doing it. Okay. So we checked all the things. We check our checklist then. Make sure we didn't forget anything. At this point, we are landing. We have decided. And we're doing the thing. I just have to actually find the thing. I'm like, oh, making sure that we're maintaining our best glide. Oh. Just want to make sure that we're not, yeah. We're clearing our engine.
500.
So, I don't really want to make that turn back to there now that I just saw where it is. So, we're just going to land in this field along this road over here. Like so. I don't know. Can I do that? And then he'd be like, all right, recover. And then I'll be like, okay. And then I'll be like, you didn't pass because you didn't figure out where your landing spot actually was. And then I'll be sad. See, that's why I usually hope that there's not a private strip around because I'm not gonna friggin' actually find it until I'm right over the top of it at 500 feet. Could I have slipped it from 500 feet? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Also aliens! About what? Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I was babbling about stuff. But hello, how's it going? Think it'd be worth doing the math and charting that out. Oh god, hate doing math. Which part? Essentially looking at how airspeed affects total distance you're able to glide, assuming you're at best glide. Looking at how airspeed affects total distance you're able to glide, assuming you're at... Right, and I think that is a thing. It's just... I have. I've basically just been doing training, and the only thing is you just have that hard and fast rule of best glide. But that's what they were talking about when I was reading the stuff, is that your headwinds are going to affect that. So, and somebody even had their own story. Oh, we don't want to get too high because we're gonna start doing our other stuff. So. Oh, shoot. And you know what I also did? The other thing is we were supposed to, once we have committed to our landing site, we were about to land, we turn off all of our stuff. We got all of our fuel out, but yes, making sure all of our electronics are off. So like if we were going to try and put in flaps, we would have had that on yet. So get all the electricity off, pop a door, brace yourself, and then just fly it to the landing. Hopefully landing. So we're about at 900 feet around in this area. So we're going to do turns around a point first. Turns around a point, we're going to be at 1900 feet. We have a westerly wind. So we're looking for a spot. We're going to do that spot right there. So we're going to fly. What direction are we going? Yes, perfect. We're going to fly up about a mile. We're going to get back down to our 1900. Just make sure that I'm not actually over a city or anything. Like, that's not actually, like, legitimately the city, is it? Oh, God, I hope not. Again, getting down to our 1900. That's a half a mile. That's a half a mile. That's a half a mile. Oh, God, is it? Is that right on the frickin' city? I have decided against that point. And not because I was about to fly over a town, even though it would have been the perfect turnaround a point. It is because I wanted to better set up for our turnaround a point. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, I have to look at it. Oh, God, this is a bad idea. Oh, it's cute. Okay, hang on. So I was thinking potentially that I liked this one over here. Just think of feeding the gulls on the river on a windy day. They nearly just float in midair, right? Sure, they hit their best glide, but they're also not going anywhere. Fair. Fair, but the people are talking about that it, like, actually helps. It helps. Like, the headwind boosts your performance. Honestly, I did not look into this enough to, like, properly and effectively give any sort of decent opinion about it. You know what? This looks... I mean, it's over, like, a little town, but it's not... words. There's so many words I want to say. But I won't. Okay, we're gonna do... Where am I? We're currently going north. It is. On one hand, I'm of the leaning that you take the time that you need to pick a spot, like a good spot. But on the other hand, you don't want it to take too long. because there's like, oh, Yeah, I don't like that either because we're near like some little towers. Oh, for the love. Here we are, back where we were last week, not able to find good spots for our ground reference freaking maneuvers because trees and stuff and non nice laid out squares. Okay, sorry. If they turn around, they will descend a lot faster, but they'd also be going somewhere. I don't know. This is bringing up so many questions for me now. Cause I'm thinking of microbursts now, where it's like if it switches or like a wind shear, where it goes useful flat. That was amazing, and I appreciate it so very much. Oh god, I'm so pleased by that. But so like wind shear, if you're like if it shears from a tailwind to a headwind, that's a lot better than a headwind to a tailwind. Although that's near the ground, and that's why, because then like you said, you're descending faster, so you're gonna boop. You've lost that lift. If you were higher, I don't know. No, but then but now that I'm thinking about it, I definitely heard at some point you definitely want the tailwind for your glide because you're going faster. Ah, god, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I don't know anymore. We're gonna find our turnaround a point. This is bull. Or in the spirit of the conversation, this is gull. Okay. Pick a spot, deal with it as it is. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like that. I went specifically this way because I saw squares, but I can't find the proper squares. Hello, thank you, flight level Riz. Oh, I guess it's more of a Riz. I appreciate the follow. Thank you for putting up with me and my strangeness. Apologies for everything. And Heidio, how's it going? How are you? Just because you showed up doesn't mean it's bull or go. How's it going? Good to see you. You figured headwind was mainly good for takeoff or landing, right? Don't know if it matters for us. And now that I'm thinking about that, that's what I'm thinking too. So I don't know. Wait. Okay, so okay. So I think part of the question that I was missing was that for the headwind, you have to adjust your best glide. That's the puzzle piece that I'm missing. So if you do your headwind, you adjust your best glide, that would potentially make the transition. Or that would make the difference. That would yeah. I think that would make sense. I think that would make sense because then then you would still continue that descent. You would still be going. Okay. Yeah. Best glide into a headwind will minimize your descent rate at the cost of ground speed. Tailwind will maximize ground speed at the cost of increased descent rate. So yeah. So I think that would Formal today? Why? Why are we formal today? I think I think I look the same. Am I acting more formal somehow? Complex, and you don't want complexity when in a panic situation. Right. But again, good tool to have in the toolbox. Okay. Sorry, on my thing, it does a strange thing and I have to read it properly elsewhere. You used to only fix airplanes, though you are an avid flight sim enthusiast. Excellent, excellent. That's awesome. So you used to only fix airplanes? Why did you change, or why did you stop, and what are you doing now? And how did you get into it? Oh, calling you by the username. I don't. Did I? Well, I mean, I don't know. Made you upset you don't have a Thunderbolt emote? Oh no. Oh, okay. You don't even know if you're wearing anything. Oh, we're getting spicy up in here. One forehead, excellent. Oh gosh. I don't know. Blah. I hate it. 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 We're gonna start going this way again. We're bound to find some squares if we just try. Okay, so we don't want to be along this because right here I'm seeing power lines. Was in the military for a bit. Okay, never continued or got your license to do on the civilians. Oh, okay, okay. Fair enough. Well, thank you for your service. And did you enjoy the fixing planes though? I would definitely like to learn more about that side of things. But there just ends up being so much that I can never just kind of play around with one thing or another. Horrible boost. I hear about sounds good. You need sleep for work in the morning. I hope that's going well, by the way. And yes, sounds good. Good night. Good to see you as always. Have a great rest of your week. Have a good work day, and hope to see you again soon. We should be flying on Tuesday again, barring changes as always. But yes, until next time, all the good things. A lot of fun getting to see them fly every day was awesome. I bet. Oh, that's great. Was there, not that I will know which plane that you say, but was there a particular one that you liked working on? Or was there a particular one that you did not like working on? And then why? Does it? You're streaming in a tux next time? Perfect. A little bow tie as well. That would be awesome. I like it. Or, oh my gosh, do you have, or you should get, a bow tie that looks like antlers? It must happen. Which is more terrifying, simulated emergency landing or giant left chasing chip? Oh gosh, probably the giant lips, because the emergency landing, it happens so fast that like it's kind of like you just kind of got to do it. But then like the giant lips, yes, although, is it terrifying or is it rage? Probably the terrifying, cause yeah, or both. It's both. Yeah, because it's like it's kind of unexpected. Mm-hmm. Tuxedo t-shirt, yeah. Tuxedo boots, yes. Wants to be formal, but he's here to party. Yes. You can be formal and party. And it is an amazing idea, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it when you get it. Speaking of tuxedo, though, Jenna, the word for penguin in Mandarin literally translates to business goose. I love it. See, but it also makes me giggle because they have such short necks. So like, I don't know. Somehow that makes it even more amusing. Because it's like, it's a business goose. So somehow, like, is the long neck part of the party? Okay, so we're... I don't know. At this point, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this yet. We might... You know what? Here we go. This is what I think I maybe am doing. We're just going to use this... Frick, no, I kind of... You know what? Shh. No. I don't like it. Sorry, we're gonna get a turnaround a point quick. So that we can continue with the things. Because otherwise, we will not get anywhere for very long. I know I'm flying horrendously, however. Okay, we have a nice straight line here. So I think we're just gonna wander and hope for the frigging best. It's not at all how you want to do it, but honestly at this point, we're just gonna gauge it. We're gonna find our beam point when we find it. We're heading into our downwind. We're getting to our 1900. We're looking for any, and we're gonna be right over a frickin' city, and then we're also pretty close to an obstacle, and I'm gonna go insane. But we're just gonna send it. So there was a nice road that we were looking at, and now it appears to have disappeared. For the love. I hate this. I hate this so much. Sorry. Hang on. You know what? As we're continuing to look, we're gonna go back to the north. I'll go back up in chat. Like working on a car. You enjoyed it all except for carrying the tools you needed for the job by hand. Oh no, everywhere you went. That sounds sucky. Just wondering how a formal moose compares to an action moose or an executive moose. Suppose it could still be either or both. Yes, it all depends. It all depends on the situation. Here's the deal. Sorry, I am freaking distraught. I just want to use that right there and just deal with it. You know what? No, we're going here. Watching out. Hello. Sorry, I will come back to that. We're gonna quick do our turnaround a point because, like, I'm not gonna find anything better. So we're just gonna send it. So halfway point, 1900, 2300 for our RPM. We are downwind. Our beam point is coming up, and just kidding, we're using that one there. So I'm gauging halfway point as between here and that road, so I'm hoping that that is correct, but we're not going to talk about it if it is. I see an obstacle over there, but we are above it, so we're going to say we're good. Okay, I need to stop freaking leaning. So again, 1900, and we're going to have our highest ground speed here in this first turn because we have a tailwind. So again, we have a tailwind, so our ground speed is highest, so we need our steepest angle of bank. As we're coming back into that headwind, we're decreasing our bank. Still getting to our halfway point, our half mile point. Coming fully into that headwind, we're going to have minimal bank as we're turning. Coming into our fourth corner of our 360-degree turn. I'm so good at maintaining altitude in this aircraft. Sorry. DPE, I'm using this as a teachable moment. If we're focusing on our bank, no, I'm not going to say that. If we gain some altitude, we just nose down a little bit, decrease it. We're coming back into our tailwind, so we're going to need to start increasing our bank, but we don't want to do it too early and cut off our final quarter of our circle. So increasing that bank and then exiting in the downwind. Okay, so there was that. It wasn't actually too horrible, so we'll go over that in a bit. Okay, sorry. We're gonna stay aroundish in this area because we need to do our 8s on pylons, and then we'll go do our landings. But I will do the thing. Goose, that is all business. Never sticks his neck out. But that was beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh, it's perfect. Shake and bake moose. That sounds fun. Oh, is that a little duck on tiny feet? It is a little duck on tiny feet, or a very close-up duck. Def more of an executive moose, just driving through in your Rolls Royce at the moment. S-turns. We can if you would like, but technically we're only likely to have to do the one. But hello, how is it going? Thank you for the follow, Todd B57. Apologies for the wait, but yes, I was trying to get that done because otherwise we're not gonna get done. So 8s on pylons. Is this at all a good place to be? Not even a little bit, because we have so freaking many. We are gonna continue south, I think. Is that a bad idea? We can go either south or north. We're gonna go south, and we're gonna hope. But yeah, we do. We just gotta take our points when we have them. Oh, we might be okay. Oh, we might be good. All right. So we're heading south. We need our 8s on pylons to be on a line perpendicular to the wind. Wind is from the west, so we need our points to be north and south. So we're looking out our window. That's what you meant. Turn around and point. Yes. It's kind of the basic one, and that's what we're focusing on right now before I start kind of switching it up every time and surprising myself, so that I just kind of have to do the kind of do whatever it is that happens. Roll with the punches. So yes, basics right now. Wasn't a bad part of the job that when the pilots had a hard landing, you'd have to do hangar the bird for a week minimum to do inspections. Dang. Okay. I mean, I guess fair. You don't want to make things worse or have something go absolutely wrong. We might, I don't know. No, that's probably not a good idea. We'll see. I'm keeping an eye on this intersection right here. We'll see where it comes out over here. And it was disappointing. Oh no! Did you say upduck? I don't know. Did I say upduck? I don't remember. I'm sorry. Okay. So I'm liking that point. Do we have a point over here that I can also enjoy? I feel like that might be too long. Will that be a terrible idea if I go over here? It probably will, but I kind of just want to. Just to get it done. That's not a good way to do it. So we have an obstacle. I saw an obstacle over here, and then I lost sight of it, which is always a good, it's always a good thing. We're going to keep that point in mind, but we're going to come down here again just to see if we can find... We'll come down here to see if we can find better points, but otherwise we might just go with the one over there and be okay with it. So we're gonna go with 810. For our, so 810, and we need to check over here. 1080, so that's about 800 feet. So we'll just go with 900 to be, so yeah, so 1700 around in here is what our, what's it is gonna be. Highest pivotal altitude. You know what? Okay, so I'm looking at that point there, that intersection from here. And then that might be the midpoint. And then should I be an a-hole and use that one? Kind of want to be, because for the love, we're going to do it. Is that a bad idea? On check ride, maybe. So hopefully we don't do that. Hopefully we don't have to do that. Or... $1,700. Okay, so 30 degrees from our line. Hello, hello. I will check that in a second. We are starting our 8 on pylons. So we are 30 degrees from our line, crossing the midpoint between our 2 points. So we're ending up about a quarter mile downwind. I don't know if I want to say that. We're just not going to say that, the quarter mile thing. We're at our highest, we should be at our highest pivotal altitude based on ground speed. Hello, I'll check that in a bit, sorry. So if the point is, we whoop, 30, we'll do our bank, put our bank in. If our point is going in front of us, in front of our reference line, we nose down. If it is going behind our reference line, we then nose up. So what that is doing is, as we're turning around, the wind is adjusting our ground speed, and since our ground speed is changing, our pivotal altitude is also changing. So, you know what? Okay. I will say, I had this problem last week, but in the opposite direction. We did 8s on pylons and then turns around a point. And I started doing my turns around a point like 8s on pylons. And now I'm doing my 8s on pylons like turns around a freaking point. Sorry. Anyway, okay, so now we're coming up to our highest pivotal altitude once again, because we are at our highest ground speed. So we are crossing once again 30 degrees. We're at a 30-degree angle from our point, from our line. Then we boop, put our bank in. Once again, as our ground speed decreases. Hello, hello. I will check the things. But I want to try and do this proper for a second. So we're keeping our bank as it is. We're keeping our bank constant. Hello, thank you. Keeping our bank constant. And then since our point is going in front of our line, that means we are above our pivotal altitude. We have to nose down. 500. Thank you, ForeFlight. And then since we are now below our pivotal altitude, we bring it back, and we are coming back up to our highest pivotal altitude, highest ground speed. Exiting our maneuver 45 degrees from the midpoint of our line between the points. Oh God, it's horrible. Okay, sorry. We'll go over that one. Okay, sorry. Going back up. Do I use an app like Little Nav Map to see the track afterwards? Yes, yes, we do have Little Nav Map going, and so we will look at the track afterwards. Sparky, thank you for the raid. How's it going? How is your stream? How are you doing? Tell me the things. Welcome, everyone. Sparky raid flying in, yes. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the follow, Unfiltered Marine. Good to see you as well. Always love seeing you. Hello, hello. Sparkly Spark Spark Sparkaroo. Thank you for the follow, Avocado Flight, and Glitter Girl Rev, and Angry Beaver 12. Love it. I appreciate you all. I do. I apologize. I was just trying to get through that. We spent so much time trying to find a decent enough point to actually do the turns around or actually do the ground reference maneuvers. And I did. I had to get it done, and it was just terrible. And I will go over that. Thank you. Thank you for the follow, Super Trooper 90. Okay. You want to steal the rubber ducky? Well, you can get this rubber ducky and plane for free at the WB Sim JP Logistics Discord, because that is who made it, and it is wonderful. Hello! Thank you for the follow, Captain Peel Card. I appreciate it very much. We are. So, okay, so I guess I'll do my whole, a little bit of my spiel just because, I am a pilot in real life. I'm working on my instructor certificate right now. So, disclaimer below, this is not instruction. I am not teaching anything. You are not learning anything. But I am just working on my teaching flows for the love. What happened? Hang on. I'm working on my teaching flows. So that's a big part of the certificate and the training and being able to do the CFI stuff is being able to explain what you're doing, why you're doing it, sort of thing, and how to correct it when you're doing it wrong. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, sorry, going back up. Do I know I have a rooster on my lap? I do. This is Chicken. I never really figured out a name for him. Like, at the beginning, I was going to be like, it's like my chicken. Just because it's kind of funny. I don't know why it was funny. It was funny for some reason, and I've actually just forgotten it at the moment. So, yes, but this is, he says hello as well. He is my co-pilot and student. Since none of y'all are students, he is my only student. But yes, he's also my mic stand. That's why, because he's Mike Chicken. So then I can, shorten it to my chicken. Sorry, I have to quick look at the weather over here because we're gonna land over on this one, this airport for our frick. We're gonna overfly the field. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Winds were calm. Oh God, right traffic. Winds are calm, so we're gonna land 17. Ardmore traps. No, that's, you know what? This is a terrible idea. Oh, frick. Hang on. You know what? I should have, you know what? I'm just gonna go over what we were supposed to do. At 10 miles out, you say, Ardmore traffic, Cessna Hotel Tree 1, Delta 1, 10 miles to the this way, this altitude, inbound for runway 17. And then, you know what? We are going to do 3-5. We are going to do the right traffic because I might have to do right traffic and we should just frickin' deal with it. So, okay. Sorry. It's right pattern. It's right pattern for 3-5. So we're going to do, okay, now I have to figure out, well, shoot. Sorry. That means I'm not crossing over the field then. You know what? We're gonna go out. We're gonna go out a little bit. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go easterly. We're gonna go set up. We're gonna chill out. And we're gonna come in and we're gonna do it properly. And I'm gonna get back to chat while we're doing the chilling and the resetting up. Okay, sorry. So reading the not instruction thing, yes. Does that mean that any questions will be taken as hearsay? Yes. No, I welcome questions, if only to provide myself with being able to think through things and being able to try to explain things. But then, if those questions are asked and you're in, like, but then take it with a grain of salt. If you're in flight training, if you're going to be in flight training, make sure you ask your instructor about that, as well as look for more accurate and reliable sources. That's kind of what it is. So yes, I will take questions. I am not what's the word? Oh my god, I can't think of the word. I'm not promising that it will be either accurate or understandable. You will learn nothing, Lebowski, nothing. I think I've only seen that once, so I'm sorry I don't get the full reference, but I appreciate it. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Not me, right? Might learn about duck and chicken. Yes, you will learn about duck and chicken. Nothing. McChicken. No, not McChicken. Not McChicken. I walked right into that one. Oh no. Chicken. McChimkin. Yes. Name the chicken Hey Hey from Moana. But then he's already it's already a title for a chicken. I don't know. Can I demonstrate a power on stall 1500 RPM and 30 flap for a power on stall? For power on stall, that's full power, no flaps. You keep experiencing wing drop. That sounds probably yes, I would assume, I would think. So is that a serious question? Cause again, anytime I do a power on stall, it's no flaps and full. Yeah, that sounds more like a spin setting. Chicken, my chicken. Yes. Well, you're not in training, but you are doing a big learn on aviation. You just got the PDF of the FAQ and giving it a read. That is exactly what I did for my private training. So it is very fun to read through all of it. It's a lot of information. So good on you for doing that. Are you going to go into training, or you're just getting into it just because? Because I do. I always, when people bring up that they are even slightly interested, I always say you should definitely do it if you can. Your instructor got you to demonstrate that for check ride prep. 1500 RPM and 3. To be honest, I wouldn't know what situation. Okay, so the one thing I could think of that being for would be for the spin portion, which I just need an endorsement from an instructor, an authorized instructor, that says I have received training and am proficient, or whatever. I've received training in spins and therefore don't have to do it during check ride. But that, I mean, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is a reason for it, and I would be curious. It is quite dense, and there is a lot that I've ended up going back through during my later training and been like, oh, that makes a lot more sense now. And it does. It just puts it into perspective, like reading the whole thing over once and then doing the chunks at a time through the training is really helpful. But yeah, it is. It's totally a lot. You got the perfect name for chicken. Cluck Norris. Oh my god. Cluck Norris. I love it. Hello, Thank you for the raid. How was your stream? What were you doing? Welcome. Oh God, what accent, what voice are we doing? It is the new year. Is there anything we can do with that? Thinking maybe part 103 to start. What is the part 103? I haven't gone into that stuff. Is that, oh God. Oh, you know what? You know what else? Hang on. 29 or 83. It's still 29 or 83, so it should be set. Oh, hang on. 845. Oh, we're going up to 1900. Sorry. Oops. You have the instructions on making an Affordaplane and thinking about doing a buy over time for parts of. Ooh, okay, cool. I haven't heard of that. So that's just your own kit. And then, so the part 103 would be which thing for that, I assume. We were doing why did I do this to myself? Right traffic for 3.5. How to fly. Get dashboard rubber ducky. 2. Point plane up and go. Yes, dealer's choice. Okay, oh God. All right, you know what? It's the new year. I've been kind of saving this one. The first voice that I ever did was Stitch. So, all right, here we go. We're gonna try it. Sorry, I have to get into it. Really like the star. No, that didn't work. I didn't like the laugh. Hang on. No, that was a witch. Oh God, words. The voice went okay. The laugh did not. I apologize. I tried. Oh God. Since it's flying one. Appropriate. Oh, I like that one too. Ultralights. Oh, is that what it is? As you understand it, part 103 is the ultralights. I haven't gotten into that knowledgeably, so I apologize for not knowing that. Interesting. Okay, that's so cool. Pocahontas, that's good too. Oh, I love these. It was pretty good. Yeah, okay, so I do. Like, the voice was okay. I was trying to do the laugh from when he said the stuff, like the naughty stuff, that you never find out what it is. But it didn't work. I'm sorry. I seem to have much experience cackling like a witch. It's because I am one. Anything I need to tell you? Well, we were talking about me being a magician earlier. Well, I was. In a past life, I was a witchician. But thank you. I apologize. That could have been better. It could have been better. Now I want to like try it again. Redeem myself. Clucky Cheese or Agatha Christie. I love all of these. See, and that's why I'm almost like maybe it's gonna stay. It just kind of has to stay chicken because there's so many amazing options I would not be able to choose. One can download a full build instructions for the Affordaplane for like $20. You got it, because why not? That is an excellent reason. So, okay, so have you started? Do you have a time frame of when you are and when you think you'll be finished? Not to get ahead of you. I do. I end up doing that. I get too excited and get ahead of people. But that's super cool. I'm going to have to look into that. Okay, so we are, oh God, we're a little bit close to the runway. We're just not going to talk about it though. So if we get a little bit close to the runway, that's all right, question mark. We're just going to extend our downwind. No. So we're at cruise. Once we get to beam the numbers, then we bring our power back to 1900. Carb heat goes in. And we let our nose come down. We're extending our downwind just like a smidgen. Below 100, we're putting in a notch of flaps. And then we'll turn our base leg, keep our nose coming down. So at about 45 degrees from the runway or 200 feet lost from pattern, whichever comes first. So on our base leg, we add another notch of flaps. We scan final, make sure nobody's coming in, keep our nose coming down. Oh, and I also forgot to do my calls, which we're supposed to do. So I don't even know where we are. Ardmore traffic, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, final 35. Ardmore. I want to blame right traffic. Thank you, ForeFlight. I am aware. Thank you, ForeFlight. Okay, so we're getting a little bit low, a little bit slow. Shoot, I kind of, hang on. No, a little bit low, a little bit slow. So we're going to bring our power up. Bring our nose, keep our nose coming down. And now that we're pretty close here, we want to bleed off that energy so we get close to the ground, over the thing. We're gonna land on the numbers, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off. Right there, brakes, and flaps up. I think we landed on the numbers, and we're maintaining center line. Yep, I think that kind of worked. We're gonna go with it. So we're gonna get ourselves lined back up on center line and do our short field takeoff back for a normal landing. Hello. Oops. Okay, oops. So keeping our throttle at 1,000. We'll take off, and then we'll start making our way back to the airport, and I'll get back to chat. So short field takeoff. We get on center line, hold our brakes, do our check, and then we Ardmore's traffic, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, departing 35 to the northeast, Ardmore. So we hold our brakes, throttle goes up. When it's in the green, we release. Hold that center line, hand is on the throttle. Watching our airspeed. Airspeed is alive. We're looking good, and rotate 65 miles per hour in the aircraft that I fly in real life. So that's what I always use because, oh God, stay in line with the runway. Again, and also I fly better in an actual plane, just if anyone was wondering. All the things are good. We're climbing. We were at 1,800, so 500. We do our check. Green, flaps, mixture, throttle, carb, trim, fuel. And we're going to climb out to 1,000 before our turn. Okay, sorry. Sorry, did I say thank you for the follow, Java Bean? I appreciate it. Thank you. Getting back up. You'd end up naming a nugget like that too. See, and that, like, they're also good. You're only like 3 days into actually learning about stuff. Okay, sounds good. I'm sorry. I get so ahead. I get so excited, and then I get ahead of people. So I apologize, but I do. I hope it's going well. I'm trying to think. Throw more stuff at you. If you're interested, the airplane flying handbook is also a good one. It's more specifically, so the FAQ is more, I'm trying to remember how it went. It's like how airplanes fly among all of the other things. It's like, it's all the things. It's regulations, it's the weather, it's all those sorts of things. And then the airplane flying handbook is how to fly a plane. So it's got all of the maneuvers in there and stuff, if that's an interest at all. But yeah, I don't know what the sand base is for. You had to be taught how to read elevation in the transition to flight level 180 and above. How standby and hold short were different. Okay, literally all the dumb questions one could have, you've been asking because you like being detailed in your information. No, but that's the thing is, you do. You're going to have things. I still have stupid questions. Like, or like questions that I feel like I should already know or that I've already come into contact with, but I don't have enough contact with them to have them stick properly. Or I will also say, having read through the FAQ, like I shelved things, I compartmentalized certain things that then I have to detangle when I actually get down to the nitty-gritty specifics of things, like different instrument approaches and equipment, that sort of stuff. I filed it in instrument approaches and equipment, but then I had to separate it out. Thank you, ForeFlight. So I guess, sorry, hang on. Ardmore Tower, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. 4 miles north, Ardmore downtown. With Quebec. We didn't listen to the METAR, but we're gonna imagine that that's what it is. We're gonna hope that's what it is. Inbound for landing. Inbound. I don't know. Inbound full stop. Sorry, there we go. And then they'll be like, yeah, all right, do left base 3-5. That's what we're gonna do. Or you know what? I want to do a left base 3-1. But yes, no, it is. It is good to be detailed about that stuff because, again, like I said, I compartmentalized a lot of stuff, just shoved it onto shelves, and then now it's about organizing all of it. And that it gets a little bit, a little bit frustrating at times. But it is. Then there's also times where you hear about something and you're like, oh, I remember reading about that. So it does. It's a both sort of thing. And you got introduced to aeronautical maps and the information overload they contain, found a YouTube playlist and how to read them. They're so much fun. I actually got help with that from Charlie Foxtrot. If you guys don't know who Charlie Foxtrot is, check him out. He's amazing. He's excellent. He's incredibly knowledgeable, very helpful and entertaining. He streams. He'll be streaming tomorrow night. I hope so. Oh God, I lost my chat stuff. And I did. That's one of the things that I feel actually really comfortable on is the maps now, because of going over that in detail with him. So yes, that's a really good one. Did that help then? No concerns here with what? Sorry. Oh, I'm very slow. The difference between flight sim and the real thing. You can. Oh God. Sorry, I put the throttle in. Didn't mean to. And the real thing. You can feel what the real thing is about to do. Right. There is this. I've been doing the sim stuff and streaming the sim stuff. Oh God. Hang on. Where are we? Since I started my private training, and it's been incredibly helpful for flows and stuff and getting the procedures down. There is a little bit, it does make a little bit of a hiccup. Hang on, what is my, I need to be down at 1900, I think. 1800 actually. So we're gonna bring that throttle down. Sorry. What were we saying? But yes, it has. It's been very helpful with the procedures and kind of like going over the stuff that I learn in real life. But then yes, I do find myself developing bad like you do. You need to distinguish, create that distinction that this isn't the real thing. Treat it like it's its own aircraft, but also make sure you're not getting the bad habits. And it's a balancing act, but it's been great. The answer to everything is 42. I just finished listening to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy original series, and it was great. The original radio series. I'm gonna quick land this thing And then I'm going to continue with that. Okay, so we're coming in our base leg. So we are going to, and we, they say clear for landing, and we say, clear 3-5, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. So we're coming down, we're gonna get our carb heat out. Checking final, looks good. First notch of flaps in. Okay, so we have a little bit of a final, so I'll continue. Okay, so, and my plan was, because I am a big reader. We actually do reading on this channel. We were in the middle of reading Sherlock, but since I've gotten deeper into my instructor training, we haven't been able to do that. We usually do that on Thursdays. But yes, so I'm a big reader. And I need fiction in my life, so I started to get into the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I was going to start the series. But talked to my instructor, and he reprimanded me for not having read Stick and Rudder like he told me to, and like I've been meaning to. So, hang on for a second. Okay, I need to get, okay, center line is the frickin' yoke shaft. Just do the thing, and I'm supposed to be teaching. So we're crossing the threshold, power comes out, maintaining that center line, getting close, transition our eyes to the end of the runway, bring it into the flare, use those Lindbergh references that I can't use because I'm too close, keep our flare up, we don't want to stop on the runway, so we start at our, gosh darn it, where's my frick, hang on, sorry, we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way, and hope that this is a taxiway and not a runway. I think this might be a runway. Oh, there we go. It was words I can't say because there's a taxiway. Sorry, my airport diagram didn't come up quickly enough. Sorry. That was awesome, and the DPE would have been just so pleased by that outburst. Oh my god. Okay, so cross the hold short line and brake. Cleans up the aircraft. And then they would say, taxi to parking via Bravo Alpha cross 3-5. Then I would say Bravo taxi to parking Bravo Alpha cross 3-5 Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, and then we go. Anyway, sorry. So I did. I got reprimanded. And I'm like, I didn't really want to read the Stick and Rudder because I was like, that's just another textbook sort of thing. And I need to not have another textbook, but I probably should. And I started reading the first part of it, just like the first page, and it is amusing and amazing writing. So that's probably what I'm going to do next. And then at some point, I will get to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah, anyway. So, bet you weren't expecting that rant when you said that. Okay, so now I'm going to... oh, wait. All right, hang on. I will... So we were cleared to cross runway 3-5. However, we're going to take a quick look-see. Take a quick look-see. All right, we are good to go. Continues on Bravo.
Entered runway 17.
Into parking. Oh my god, that looks like the squattest little tower. Or what is that? It's so cute. Okay, where are we parking? I don't know. Over here somewhere. So now we just taxi wherever we want because we are in a non-movement area. I'm just kidding. Watch where we're going. We'll go over here, park by these people. Oh god, my oops, shoot. Parking normally, like normal people do. Okay, whoosh, there, parked. Recheck, all the things are good. Trim for takeoff. Landing light goes off. It's steering the day, so it's okay. Nobody got blinded. Off. Go. Off. Out. Out. Boop. 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 And then mixture. Oh, frick. Sorry. Continue for a second. Continue that. And then do that. And then do this. And then do this. And that. And then do this. There. Control the space. And in. And then we make sure we do our walk around. Everything is good. And then we go inside the FBO and hopefully get our flight inspector certificate. Oh, yes. So there we go. There's that. Yay. We did the thing. We did the thing. I don't know. Okay. It's not as late as usual, so that's nice. We will go out to the lobby so you can have some pretty music and I can think. We will get through chat. We will do a little nav map. And go, yes, we will do our debrief. Okay. It is enjoyable so far. Nice. Just finding that the aviation landscape is littered with rabbit holes. One could fall all the way to Neverland. Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's why I'm super nervous about the CFI thing, just because it is. All the other certificates, they're kind of like, I mean, it's like expected that you don't know everything, kind of. Like, as long as you can, like, look it up and find it and stuff like that. But for this one, you kind of do need to know everything and be able to express that in a way that is understandable to other people, especially people who don't know the things in this arena. And there's also, like, the joke that as pilots, you're not just pilots, you're also mechanics, meteorologists, doctors, lawyers. What's the other one? There was another one that I thought of, but yeah, because it's just all the different areas that you need to have, like, at least some level of knowledge in. And as you continue through it, a deepening level of knowledge. So yes, you're absolutely correct. No concerns with how you fly better. Oh, with IRL versus MS Pass. Okay, good. Because, like, it is. I fly terribly in here. And I do. I just don't want that to be an indication of how people fly in real life. So, and you just downloaded the Airplane Flying Handbook. Nice. Excellent. That's a good one as well. And it does. It goes over things really well. Don't panic and always have your towel. Yes. It's so funny. I missed that sort of, like, sarcastic, It is. That sarcastic humor, that, like, just out of left field sort of humor, that makes you listen to it and just makes you go, okay. And it is hilarious. So yes, is it the default 152? I'm glad you asked. So that 152 is the WB Sim JP Logistics 152, where you can get there. You get Ducky and the iPad where you can check things, and you get circuit breaker pops, and if you leave the pitot cover off, you can get a wasp cut in it so that you have to abort your takeoff. But I love all that stuff. It's been interesting having to deal with that once in a while when I've forgotten things, and yeah, so it's got some of that real world stuff that you gotta deal with. So yeah, it's fun. Yes, JP Logistics version. So, tell you about Bernoulli's theorem. Well, hang on. So we talked a little bit earlier. Hang on. Where is it? Bet you weren't expecting this. So, we have hang on. Let me see where to start from. All right, so airfoils, right? We got our aerodynamic surfaces meant to create lift. And so this is a wing, right? This is a cutout of a wing, say. So we got our leading edge, trailing edge. We got our upper camber or curvature and our lower camber or curvature. We got more curve on the upper surface and less curve on the lower surface. So what that leads to is bada boom. When that airflow moves over, can you see my cursor? When that airflow moves over the top of that greater curvature, it creates faster airflow and then slower airflow over the lower, lesser curvature on the bottom. That faster airflow, according to Bernoulli, faster airflow creates lower pressure, higher pressure on the bottom, so the wing lifts into the lower pressure. It's about all I got right off the top of my head and with the stuff that I have at the moment. Need to be able to answer all the dumb little questions and noobs are gonna have. Like, what were those flaggy things you stuck in the prop area? Do you want to know this one? The flaggy thing. Oh, okay. So the things that we stuck in the air intake. Yeah, air. Oh my god, I can't even remember the air. See, and this is the thing. It's to cover the hole so that cover the hole in that area. So that doesn't sound better. But so you cover it so that hopefully squirrels or birds don't make nests in your engine. So yes, that sort of a thing. Also, could be. So here's the thing. No, that's a good question because I actually don't use those in real life ever. So I'm not sure all of the different things for them. I almost wanted to say, do they act also like a cowl cover as well to kind of keep the heat in a little bit, sort of? I don't know. I'm not sure. What does flight level mean? Fair. Have you even been far even to want to go do... Wait. I'm not quite sure what that last bit means. But yes, so the flight level is the number times 100. And it is above 18,000 feet. Is when we use flight levels. However, I have seen... I can't remember what circumstances using flight levels for lower... for lower levels, but not, I don't know. I don't think it's like an official thing though. Ha! You earned it, backfired on you spectacularly. No, it made me, it put me into a positive light, so thank you. Kind of, I don't know. Maybe it didn't make sense at all. Do you know how that pressure differential affects the engine? Can you elaborate on that question? Scoop. I haven't heard it like that. Now that's an awesome content. What is? 18,000 feet for North America. Oh, in Europe it's lower. Okay, and yes, I do need to remember to say that. Hi, by the way, how's it going if I didn't like fully say that? I do. I am based in the US, so all of this stuff as well, that's also why, not an instructor, things are different in different parts of the world. So yes, and I don't know how all the things work in other areas. In the US, it's above 18,000. In the UK, it's like 5,000. In New Zealand, you have the transition layer from 13,000 to 15,000. So, can I ask why the 13,000 and 15,000? There's a there's a reason. There's a reason for the 18,000 feet here. I don't know it. I will admit that. I mean, that's your homework for today, non-students, is to find out why the flight levels start at 18,000. I was gonna say it has something to do with the mountains, but I feel like that might be the... I'm not sure. It's something. It's something. Flight level in EU is typically 5,000 or as assigned by ATC. And then why is it 5,000 there? Last one was a jokey mean thing, but an example of a dumb question that could that could be encountered. Okay, sounds good. Well, and that's the thing. I talked about this with my instructor too, because I can remember specific times. I'll give a specific example. When I first started training, I was going to go do some solo practice, and there was an air met for icing, and I was so worried about this air met for icing, and I was texting my instructor, and I was like, I don't know, I'm probably not going to go because there's an air met for icing, and he's like, well, it's going to be fine though. You're like, what are the ceilings? And I was like, well, they're like 8,000, and he's like, okay. And I was like, but there's still an air met for icing. And he's like, but are you going to be in the clouds? And I was like, oh, okay. It was there's so many of those moments where it's just complete facepalm moment, even up to now. So I can be like, I have been there. I understand that. But also it is, I do recognize that it's also frustrating not being able to find the right words that get the point across. And it's not even the student's fault. It's like, I am not saying the right thing. I am not explaining it correctly. And that is frustrating for me, that I hope that doesn't come out when trying to explain things to students. So that's a whole other thing. It's not just the knowledge. It is that FOI stuff, the fundamentals of instructing, being able to communicate things properly, understand what your student needs, how things are coming across to them, and if you need to change something up. And yeah, it's a lot in all sorts of different things. Great to see CFI doing shit. I'm not a CFI. I'm not a CFI. Disclaimer below. Disclaimer below. I am a CFI in training. I am just working through my flows. I guess I can get this off the screen. Sorry. I'm just working through my flows. So this is not instruction. You're not learning anything. I'm not teaching anything. If you take anything away from this, ask a proper instructor, an actual instructor, and or look it up from more reliable sources. So yes, but yes. Sorry, I need to make sure. Nothing to be learned here. Most likely because of highest terrain. That's what I thought, and where the VFR traffic ends up. Okay, and 18,000 in US is because of the airspace classification, right? But like, why is it classified that way? There's a specific reason, but I can't remember. With engines, if it's not fuel injected, the pressure differential pass through a carburetor. Oh yes, sorry. Yes, the pressure differential pass through a carburetor, creating the Venturi effect. So the outside pressure differential has an effect on the internal workings. Shoot. I did have. I don't think I have that. I have gone over that lesson plan of mine. But yes, sorry. And that's why when you that's the thing that worries me, is I absolutely know that, but when it's asked not in the way, I don't know, maybe it's a sort of rote memorization thing where I'm expecting the question in a certain way, or I need the question in a certain way. Otherwise, if it's asked in a way that I don't understand, I don't know what it's supposed to be asking. So like, yeah, so when you said that, like, my immediate thought was like, okay, how is the pressure differential of the wing affecting the engine? How is the pressure differential of lift affecting the engine? And I couldn't do it. I apologize so much. But yes. Anything above 180 is class Alpha. Echo starts at 60,000. Or it starts again at 60,000. Yes. For what reason? I don't know. If you can get through that class Alpha, Echo above. because of our VSM airspace, you believe. But I think that stuff came after the deciding at what, yeah. For US, and it is same for Canada. Where you're from. Excellent. Okay. We've talked about Canada a little bit. We have some other Canadians that bring up Canadian stuff, and that's always fun to see like the differences as well as the similarities. And then yes, typically set altimeter to our 2992 at 180, I believe. Yes. Sometimes the answer isn't worded well. Sometimes the student doesn't know how to articulate what they need to know well enough to elicit the information required. And that's a big part of like the FOI though too, is you need to express the information. They need to express what they need, but then you also need to try and recognize what they need, even as they're trying to glean what you're trying to give them. So yes, that whole the back and forth thing, and yes, and being able to recognize what they need even if they're not asking for it, even if they don't know what they need. So yeah, it's the social aspect of it is an interesting new thing. True in all areas, sometimes people just don't know what they actually want to know. Fair. And cannot articulate that well, right. And being a teacher of any sort involves a lot of translation. And I love that wording of it, because that's all language is the transfer of ideas. It's you have your ideas in your mind, you have to translate those into words that then go to another person who then they take that in. But then the thing is certain words have certain context, certain connotations for different people, and put in a certain way. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm a language person as well. If that, that's why. Books and ideas and stories and words. Yeah. I think it's also a historical reason for buffer zones with en route traffic. Right, maybe. Yes. I will. I'll have to look up that. 60,000 because NASA and military. Okay, yes. Fair. That sounds fair. When you were having flight level and the switch to flight level notation explained to you, you had a problem understanding until you broke it all down to an example like you do V1 and rotate and doing a climb at 6,000, 10,000, on up to 17,900. Does it change to flight level 180 then, or is it a gray? Okay, so are you talking about, oh, thank you for the follow, Flight Streamer Live. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Yes, apologies for all the things. My babbling and such, but yes, I guess I'm not doing any strange flying at the moment, so one less thing to apologize for. That is an interesting question, because I've read that question, but I'm not sure I've ever fully gone into it, because once you hit 180, if you change your altimeter, that might put you below 180. So I will actually have to look that up as well. So I'm not sure right at that edge what that is. Reading books is how humans program their OS. I love it. I love it. But then that's the thing. Like I did a lot of reading as a child, so I'm one of those who I mispronounced words quite a bit. And still do to some degree because I read them and didn't hear them out loud. Epitome instead of epitome, determined instead of determined, that sort of a thing. As well as like there's words that I like understand the meaning to and can like use in a sentence or understand in a sentence, but I probably couldn't actually tell you what it specifically means, or I have an incorrect understanding of the definition because I took the definition from the context and it wasn't correct. So anyway, that. And you got the answer you're looking for asking that way. Share. Cause if I actually got the answer, I can't remember what it is at the moment. Does the US have a transition layer? I don't think so. Here, when you get to 13,000 on a climb, you transition to standard. On the way down, through flight level 150, you change to QNH. I've learned it as a hard and fast 180, but again, that like right at the edge there, I'm not sure about. Do I use VATSIM? I do use VATSIM. It's been a while. We actually did. When I get convinced into it, we do still, but I haven't been able to recently just because I've been focusing on the CFI training, and if I'm doing the VATSIM, I'm focusing on that rather than my flows and stuff. So, but I love doing VATSIM. Do you do VATSIM? It's been a lot. It's been great. I loved doing it during my instrument training because that was incredibly helpful, doing those flights and getting that real world ATC experience. I mean, it's not all of them are real life controllers, but there are real life controllers there. There are real life controllers in training, and there are just people who do the VATSIM, and they are trained for VATSIM. So it does. There are differences, but it's very helpful and similar to real life. So yeah, it's good. I love it. I miss it. So it's roughly a 2,000 foot thick transition layer. I will. I'll say I don't think so. I'm just not sure what it is like at the edge for us. But that would kind of be nice, wouldn't it? Words are hard. They are. Of course, with flight level, one's barrow must be set so the altimeter reads the correct distance. Right, exactly. And yes, always. Is there a specific area that you fly in most? Your brain thinks in edge case, so you drill down to specific details. Yes, because you like detail, but sometimes it's really hard to articulate that. Right. And that's something too. I'm also kind of that way. My instructors have I say rolled their eyes, but like I mean that in a totally friendly and supportive way. I do. My flight instructors have been the best, but I tend to go into the weeds on stuff, and there's an amount that you need to know, and if you can get more than that, great, but there's also only so much that you can keep up in here all at once, and only so much that you actually use frequently. So yes, I've had to kind of keep myself out of the weeds in different scenarios and throughout my training, and especially now I went over my new PowerPoint lesson plan for Principles of Flight, part of it with my instructor, and one of the things he said is he liked that I did not go as deep into things as I had before. Like, I had the right amount of stuff, I hit the right points, and that's all you need, at least for the check ride. So yeah. And also not overwhelming students. So that's another thing too, is how much do they actually need to know? How much do even if they want to know it, is that going to be good information to give them when they might need that mental room for something else? So yeah. Anyway, sorry. You've been VATSIMing since it was SATCO. Okay, I have heard of that. I was only convinced to start VATSIMing within like I want to say like around a year or two. Oh gosh, when I was in instrument training, so at least a year and a half to 2 years. So interesting. And I assume it's changed a bit since then. Usually during events, so all over the world. Oh, depending on the event. And you also stream. Nice. Okay. I've never done an event yet. I'm still nervous about, like, I'm a big baby when it comes to ATC. VATSIM has really helped. But I'm still, there's still so many things that could creep up on me. So I will. I'll have to get into that at some point. Honestly, been doing the airliner thing. Sparky has you getting more and more interested in GA. Yes, go Sparky. GA is great. GA is so much fun. The low and slow, the sights, and yeah, just really being in touch with the plane itself as well as your surroundings, because you're like that much closer to everything. So definitely get more into the GA. Love that turn of the phrase, lost in the weeds, in the weed zone. I love that. Ooh. I like that a lot. The weed zone. Belongs on like a t-shirt. Was also thinking of getting a solid flight calculator and learning how to use it. So like E6B. So you can do your paper turn or your turn wheel cardboard E6B. Can't remember what it's called. And then your electrical E6B, and they're lots of fun. If you want, you can hang on. So I'm about to start inching you more towards the like actual training, but I think it's fun. So what I did for my private training is I read the FAQ, and then I also did Sporty's private pilot written questions in order to prep for my written test. So you can go in there for free and just set it to 200 questions, and I just went over 200 questions like a day, and that kind of helped me maneuver my training and learning and kind of start putting it together. And there are questions that involve E6B. Plus, if you get the supplement, let me read. Let me read what it is. If you want to do this, but it is. I miss doing that. That was a really fun part of my life, to be honest, was starting that training and just going over these questions and learning this stuff. So there's a supplemental book that you get for the written test. Shoot, I don't know. Do I have it in here? Come on. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Okay, so the Airman Knowledge testing supplement for Sport Pilot, Recreational Pilot, Remote Pilot, and Private Pilot. So you have that, and you have questions from Sporties. They might have the diagrams on there, but you can use that book, and you have to calculate different things. And yeah, just going over those questions or in that certain category can really help getting you into, all right, how am I supposed to do this, and getting you into good habits for how to do the things each time, the right way every time. So I don't know if that's yeah. Sorry. Events are so much fun. Okay, especially crazy vectoring during Cross the Pond. Oh my gosh, that sounds frightening though. What? So I feel like Cross the Pond would not be one that a 152 would do. So what sort of plane? Okay, you do need a good add-on like Phoenix A320 or PMDG 737. Okay. Also suggest using FS2 Crew for FO automation, so it decreases your workload. Okay, I will. Hang on. All right, I have put it into my browser to look up. But okay, I have not done any of the airliner stuff, so yes, I wouldn't even know where to start. Magenta line follower, no. A little bit. Whiz wheel, yes, the whiz wheel. Sorry, yes, and the E6B calculator. It's a lot of fun. Sporty's E6B, that's the one I have. Yes. Agree, concur. Is E6B the proper name for the flight calculator? Yes. Or is it a type? I want to say it's the name for it because it's an electronic E6B. And then the whiz wheel is the non-electronic E6B. Yes, the proper name. Yes. E6B is a flight. Yes. Now that you say that, why is it called an E6B? And yes, the old one is called a whiz wheel. Yes. I know how to do the wind one. I'm still a little bit ish on the back side of it. But it is a lot of fun. And I did a lot of my sporties stuff with both just to make sure that I knew how to do it. So yeah. Found a Jeppesen and ASA calculators for like 18 bucks. Yes, that sounds about right, I think. Jumping into an FNO. What's an FNO? Yes, proper name for calculator type. Also CX3, which is similar. That also sounds familiar. But I'm trying to think, is the CX3... I know for the written tests, you can only use certain calculators. So I don't know if that is an issue for that one at all. But yeah. Okay, sorry. We'll throw a little nav map up there. Sorry, completely forgot about debriefing. We were having a great time talking about everything else. So, getting our debriefing. How do I do this again? I have forgotten. Oh, you know what else? Okay, hang on. First, let's go over, I think. Yes. No. Where's my freaking notepad? Oh, actually, little nav map full. And then, oh my God. Oh, it's already up. Oh, okay. All right, hang on. I'm not going to be able to see chat for a little bit once I put my notepad up, but oh, FNO Friday Night Ops. I am usually either in Charlie Foxtrot stream on Fridays or I am doing other things, but potentially maybe at some point that I would like to do more stuff, but I am at a point where I need to start kind of cranking at stuff now. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to do fun stuff and stuff that I would, like to do. Yeah. At some point I would like to do more stuff, but I'm not sure when that would be. Drop a link to the quiz I mentioned. Okay, hang on. No, not yes, sporties. Yes, sporties? Hang on. So you might have to at least have an account. No, thank you. It's coming up, I hope. Yes. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's this one. And then if you create an account, then once you start a study session. Oh, hang on. No. Once you start a study session, then you just do random questions. And they allow you to choose an amount of, like, a certain number of questions, like how many questions you want to study at a time. So I just like set it completely to 200, the largest amount that you could do, the highest amount that you could do, so that I would get as many different questions as possible each time I did it. So yeah, so that's what I did. I just went through that after having read the FAQ and stuff like that. Then it kind of started, yeah, putting it into a little bit of perspective. There's other, yeah, that's like the free stuff that I did. I also found like an old bank of questions that they had released and had public that did, a couple of them did end up being on my private test. But yeah, this was great, just having access to that many different questions. And then at a point you'll start getting the like recognizing them and getting to, yeah, seeing the same ones over and over, and then you start getting to it. So yeah, but that was fun. I enjoyed that a lot, because it was all brand new, and it was just drinking all of that information in. A little frustrating once in a while. However, still good. It's actually free. Yes. Or is it like freemium? Nope. Open for like 2 weeks, then to continue using cost. No. I think you can pay to be able to do other things, but how I did it, it was completely free. So yes, just making the account, and then just doing random questions. And then yeah, I didn't. I think they have videos and stuff too. I don't know how much of that is free. I never did any of them. Oh, it looks like those are all free as well. So actually, on that page, there's also video training, so you can go through those as well. I never did, but I have heard very good things. So yes, Google, yes, we'll give you a solid start point of stuff you should know. Yes, for the test. Yes, that will. That's and I do. A lot of this stuff is free. I'm a big free person. So I did. I tried to do it as cheaply as possible. So yeah. So yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Flight simming is the nearest you'll get to real flight, but it's okay for me. Honestly, like I've heard that from other people as well, and it does scratch that itch, I would say. I would also suggest as well, I bet like you could go find a little airport, go talk to people and just be like, hey, would I be able to get like either a Discovery flight, or sometimes they have rides at certain places. So yeah, just go hang out at an airport and talk to people, and you might get in a plane. So, are there more than 200 total questions? Yes, there is a gigantic bank of questions. They only allow you to go through 200 at a time. So yes, so that's why with that you see you're most likely to see the greatest amount of different questions, is how I thought about it. A color thing for you, okay? I thought, I'm sure that you've already like gone over this, but I thought that there was a thing where that's not always an issue. I don't know for sure though, but yeah. But no, that's fair. But I do like the way that Microsoft Flight Simulator is, and how close it is to reality without being reality. I've heard VR is also pretty puts you in there as well, if that's something that would be of interest to you. And then we got Flight Sim 2024 coming out, which is hopefully supposed to be even better, ? Fingers crossed. So yeah, it is. It's I got into this. I had an elderly relative who was this whole thing snuck up on me. This was not I wanted to go flying since I was little. I was going somewhere else with my life, stopped doing that, went to an air show, went in 2017. I was like, huh, that would be fun. And then I started taking care of an elderly relative at the end of her life. She had been a pilot in the 50s and 60s. And I started thinking about doing the flying thing. And when we were taking care of her, I ended up getting Flight Simulator. I had heard about it. And I was able to... One of the things was I had always wanted to get her back up into a plane. And we did. We did Flight Sim together. And it was fun sort of... like kind of getting that back for her. And the way that she lit up when we were doing the flying and when I would do barrel rolls and be unable to actually control the plane because I didn't know how at the time. Like, it is. There's so much opportunity and benefit from this sim that it is. I'm super grateful for it, and I'm glad that they're keeping on working on it. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry, that just reminded me of that, so... You need some form of color correction to see the difference between the magenta and blue. They look too similar to you. Interesting. Okay. See. Oh, okay. Interesting. So, have you looked into that? What do you do for that? Awesome inspiration. It was like it. Yeah. That. Yeah. So I do. I have like that sort of a connection with the sim as well. And I do. I wish I could talk more about her. Cause she was the coolest friggin' woman. And yeah. I just don't want to dox myself, so unfortunately. The Pappy lights for you. Oh, okay. The bright light glare makes the lights look either white or red. So if there's green in there, oh, you won't see it. Okay, interesting. Dang. Okay. Okay. And you're badly red-green colorblind. Okay. Now I want to like look into that stuff and see what options there are for that. Well, I do, but for now we do. We have the sim. Okay, I'm sorry. We are doing this was our... All right, what does it look like today? It looks like a derpy dog. All right, so we have a it's got its little paws going like this. It's got its weirdo eyes, looks like Sid the Sloth with its little ears. Then it's got its weird little tail, and there its weirdo back leg. That's perfect. Yes, derpy dog check ride. We took off from 3-5. We went southwest. We turned that way and did our clearing turn. And then our clearing turn, question mark? And then we did... What did we do? We turned there. Oh, is that our steep turns? That's our steep turns. All right, so we did steep turn. Did our second steep turn. Apparently that's what that is. Then we did our lazy 8. That's okay. It's not bad. Then we went there, and then we turned around again. Sorry. Goes there. Goes there. Goes there. Oh, and this was our emergency landing. Or simulated emergency thing. And then we turned like that to do something. I don't remember why. Oh, we did that to get our engine fire out. And then we went like that, deciding that we're going to look for that, and then we kind of missed it. So then we went to go land over here. Hopefully that was fine. So then we went this way, and then we went this way, and we were looking and looking for spots to do our stuff. Couldn't find one. Turn around a point. It's not horrible. Like, honestly, it could have been better, but it could have been worse. So we turned here, got a little bit in here, so we didn't decrease our bank enough here. so that we vooped out a little bit more. But these were quite, I would, those are quite good, I would say. Three quarters. And then we turned there, started looking for our lazy, oh my god, sorry, 8s on pylons. I will be honest, I'm not sure I actually did what it was supposed to be. Yeah, I did not have good points. So let's go over our errors, shall we? We didn't have all that great of points for pickage, and so there was some losing sight of things a little bit. And then coming into this one, we got a little close on this one. So I think if we had yeah, and that's, I can't remember if I said that. So I did the turns around a point first. So then the next time I was doing this sort of a thing, I was adjusting my bank rather than my pitch. So I was trying to do the 8s and pylons as turns around a point. And then last week, I tried to do my turns around a point like 8s on pylons. So I really need to get better at that. So yeah. Understand what maneuver I'm doing at what point and doing that. So these should be a lot more equal. I didn't have a proper midpoint that I was looking at, so that's why that's fully not connected. But we did. We got around it. Was it passable? I don't friggin' know. So then we were working on going to do our landings. So we got over here, realized we had to get reset up. So we turned around and flew out that way, came back in. Came in on the 45 degree, got way too freaking close. So instead of what I should have done, gone out, reset again, probably, we just booped out on our leg here. Did our short field landing, which I think went okay. I think I got a little low. I think I can't put as many flaps in as I was, so I'll have to keep that in mind. Did our short field takeoff, which I completely forgot to talk about VX and keeping that in until the 50 whatever, but okay, fine. That's fine. And then we came back in and did a base turn to landing, and it was a normal landing. And I think that also kind of went okay. We went, I think we got a little bit off center line, and then we had a crisis here where I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to turn, and then we figured it out, and we taxied back in. Yeah. Oh, and then before that, so that was our flight debriefing. Before that, we went over my revamped weight portion of Principles of Flight, lift, weight, thrust, and drag. We did lift, we did all of them last week, but I hadn't gotten through revamping the weight portion, and it went not quite well. So this one, I think it went better. I still have some questions that I have to go over and get really solid on. So yeah, and then moving on to the next one, I guess. So and then sorry. You have a feeling that if you could learn what you're looking at, it should be a bit easier. Like for stoplights, you don't even look at the color, you look at which one it is on. Fair enough. Yes. Okay. So, you had mentioned the magenta and blue. So is that specifically for the charts, or does that come out in the the flight as well? Because yeah, there are totally certain ways that you can tell apart the blue and magenta from, even without it being not seeing the color, kind of. I think, yeah. 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 Do wish, though, that the green and yellow flasher was at a different tempo, so it was easier to tell at a distance. Oh, okay. Okay. CFI training. Yes, I am. I am in CFI training. So none of this is learning. None of this is learning. None of this is teaching either. But yes, we're working on our flows, and I'm working on being able to, yeah, express things in an instructy sort of way. Like the circles around the small airfields look grayscale to you. Evidently, that is a magenta fade. Yes. And I will say, with the magenta fade, most of those are just magenta. The blue one is basically around the entire US. So yeah. Yeah. So that 1200 foot, that 1200 foot AGL blue fade is not anywhere often. There is still some in the US, but it's not a lot. Oh, and then we were going to do the, sorry, I'm not gonna be able to see chat for a little bit. Can you see this? I hope. It's small. It is small. I'm sorry. But did we get through our stuff? Did we do our normal? Oh, I didn't do the crosswind thing, but we had calm winds, so I didn't quite have to talk about them. And we did our short field, takeoff and landing. Got that. We talked about turns. Performance maneuvers, we did our steep turns. We did our lazy eights. We did our eights on pylons and turns around a point. We did our power off stall as well as our secondary stall. We did our straight and level as well as a constant airspeed climb. And then we did our systems and equipment malfunction and emergency approach and landing and post-flight procedures. So, yeah. So there we go. We did the things. All right. That's all she wrote. So I will get out of Flight Sim, get the sound off. We'll start looking for somebody to raid. Ah, hang on. Sound is off, but that is also off. That is off. That is off. And that is off. Okay, there we go. We're just gonna actually go to a whole new window. So I actually bring this on. Discord, yes, that is my Discord. We got some fun stuff in there, as well as we usually do flying on Tuesdays. That's our flying day. I will let you know in Discord if something changes. But otherwise, yeah, hang out. Have some fun. There are cute animals in the menagerie. Feel free to add your own. As well as literature, media, and of course, the flying. So yes, I started streaming as I'm finding somebody to raid. I started streaming using I started streaming with reading. We read through Edgar Allan Poe, all of it. And then once I got into the flying, so we did reading, and then we also did some old movies, primarily Buster Keaton. Love that. I miss doing that. And then once I started flying, that started taking up a lot more of my time. So yeah, we also do games once in a while, other sorts of games, just fun sorts of games. Usually that's on Sundays. Usually the reading or other things are on Sundays. Reading is on Thursdays. But at the moment, we're just doing the flying on Tuesdays, getting ready for check ride. So that's that. Sorry. It's that time of the evening. All right. Where them GA. Ooh. This could be fun. I think I got where we're going. All right. Oops, daisy. No, I just gotta. Like every single freaking time, I forget how to do these. um. Ugh. Can finally make a folder. Folder for what? I'm trying to think. Oh gosh. I'm trying to remember. That's it. Next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday nights in New York. Event field is KLGA. But that sounds scary. That's freaking LaGuardia. Is it not? We'll see. But okay. Okay. I will keep it in mind. Um uh what do you got to do for CFI check ride? Teach the DP. Yes, basically. Um so it kind of for the ground portion, it's basically yes, presenting your lesson plans. He'll ask certain questions, probably potentially. Make sure that you're hitting all the points. And make sure that you don't say anything egregiously wrong. Or yeah, anything like that. And then for the flight portion, yeah, it's you're you're teaching while flying and or teaching while DPE is flying, and that's why I'm nervous about it, is because I don't know what sort of scenario it's going to be. But then again, that's how the teaching's going to be, so you just need to be able to do it. So yeah. I have a couple of mock check rides that I want to look at to kind of get like a visual idea. I've heard stories of other people, but I'd like to get sort of like a visual idea of how it potentially goes. But yeah, we'll get there as well. Spider and Sparky's in my Discords. Yes! So you can finally make an aviation folder. Yay! I am so huh, what's the word? Oh god. Honored to be one of the first of the aviation folders. It is LaGuardia. That sounds scary. My number one instructor flies out of there right now. Or not out of there. He flies into there once in a while on different trips. But yeah. Oh, I'm still hang on. Yeah, this is where we're going. God, this sounds easy, like teaching a private student. No, that's not easy. No. I am. It's. I do. I've started to figure out what I need to do. More of the just talking through what I'm doing now and why, rather than trying to expound upon all the things that might come up in this portion, sort of a thing. So it's just right here, right now. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? And I think that's helped. I think this flight went better than last flight, at least. And I just need to kind of keep doing that and keep doing that for the different maneuvers so that I'm not getting like too much into one of them. And then now that I'm getting into the fixing my getting the certain ground lessons into PowerPoints so that those ones are really set, and then just figure out how I'm going to be most comfortable doing whichever other ones that he decides to choose. Yeah. So yeah, it is. It's still nerve-wracking for me. I'm working on getting getting to a better place for it. I still need to fly from the right seat more. Weather's been ish, but we're working on it. So yes. Yeah. We'll get there. So yes, that'll be it for me. I have a raid that we're working toward. I should probably put that in here. So sorry, stretch. To whoever got lost and found their way here or found their way back, thank you so much for being here. Let me go over the things. All right. So, Sim Caesar, thank you for the raid, as well as Sparky Pilot and Deputy Dog. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate seeing you. It's so much fun to see you. Check them out, you guys. Thank you so much for the follows and for sticking around, putting up with me and my shenanigans. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun. I'm so grateful for this community. For the Microsoft Flight Simulator community, for the aviation community. Y'all are the best. Like, really. And I can't say it enough. I can't express it enough, except just say too much, probably. Thank you so much. And yeah, let you know all the time. All right, you're outie. It's 01:15. Sounds good. Well, I will also be outie, but for those of you who can stick around for the raid, looks like it's gonna be a fun one. So yes, this is not lady hours to be. Oh, you okay? You can't bring that wisdom in here. Going against my most sacred. Oh no, my chat is going wonky. My bot is just ugh. Oh gosh. Yes, sorry. My chat just went wonk. I have to get back. Sorry. Okay. You blame Sparky for my arrival here. That's excellent. I appreciate it. I appreciate Sparky for bringing you here. I love Sparky. Yes. Wow, first question is about density at elevation, and you figured out how to read the chart. Just didn't correct enough. Well, there you go. Can I ask what the question was? About density at elevation. Oh, and you figured out how to read. Oh. So the is that the pressure altitude / density altitude? And is it the chart that has the sideways lines? I'm gonna be so proud of myself if I got it right. You're down. Excellent. Wait, down for what? For the raid? We are. So yes. Check out my Discord for I think I don't know. I'll throw it out there again because I will. Sometimes I do have to switch it up a little bit. So I will let you know in there if we have to change, but otherwise it should be on Tuesdays. So excellent. All right, so we're heading to the raid. If I've forgotten anything, I apologize. Brain is mush as usual. And yeah. So hope to see you next time. Have a great whatever's gonna be for you. Hope to see you again soon. Okay, Barrow at 3030, temp at positive 25, and airport elevation 3894. What is the altitude density? So, I was gonna try to do. So there's the chart, but you can also do 8 plus 30 is 380. Add 380 is 4274. And then at that 4274, standard temperature at sea level goes up. Oh shoot, which one is it? 2 degrees Celsius or 4.4 degrees Fahrenheit? Or goes down, sorry. So 4,000 and 4.4, 176, 170 minus 176 feet. So aroundish 4,000-ish. Wait, no, sorry. Sorry. No, sorry. That was silly. 4.4 times 4,000 is 17.6 degrees. 59 and 17.6, 41 point that, and it's colder, so density altitude is going to be lower. I don't know. So you looked at the chart. Elevation had negative 380. Yep, that's what I said. Went to the diagonal line chart, went to roughly 25 Fahrenheit, and went up to the given altitude. Yep, then back down to account for the negative 380. You went to 3,000, and it was 2,000. That, honestly, that's gonna happen when you first start doing those, and then you'll start like recognizing, oh, I have to be really specific and really aware of those things. So yes, interesting. Yeah. Off topic, but was going to go on a cross country, and your EGT had a 30-40 flux, so you turned back. That sounds so okay. Can I ask, did you find out what it was? Was it a faulty gauge, or was it actually something? Before you go, can I say arriba boca, or am I supposed to say arriba? I think it's arriba boca. Go. Wait. Let's go. Mouth. What does that mean? Should I have said that? 2,200 to be precise. Okay. Yeah, and I will say some of the questions that you will find on the written tests are infuriating in that sometimes they are scored wrong, and or like they can be like so precise where they could be right in the middle of two, and you just got to pick one. So yeah, but yeah, it is. It's I had a great time going through those and learning, and it was great. It was less like a fire hose, at least at that point, and more just like drinking furiously from a hose, which is a little different. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yes, I said it right. It's an Argentinian soccer team. Arriba Boca! I hope I'm not going against anybody else, but it's fun to say. So, yes. All right. Sounds good. That is where we're at. I have to go to bed. It's been so much fun talking to you guys, meeting you guys, seeing you guys again. So, yes, have fun in the raid. Until next time, have a great whatever it's going to be for you, and all the good things. So thank you so much, and bye.